Chapter 1761 I have really no holy place to start. Frostless Lord quickly contacted other legendary lords, which was a big deal after all. Soon, Frostless Lord, Longu Lord, Barren River Lord, Baihang Lord and other legendary realm lords gathered together and started a meeting. Lord Wufrost mentioned at the meeting, "The Lord of Endless came to see me not long ago, and there is a big opportunity for us to participate." What big chance? The legendary lords are very curious. Could it be that the Endless Lord discovered some amazing treasure? So, Lord Wushwang revealed the treasure of 3,000 Yuanlin Lin. When many legend realm lords heard this, they frowned. Lord Longu said, "The Lord of Blackwater is very powerful. He has mastered several high-level skills. His strength is at the top of the common legendary lords, and he is much stronger than me. We need at least 3 legendary lords to be able to do it. Fight against him. As for killing the Blackwater Lord, he can't do it at all. If he wants to escape, no one can catch up with him except the peak legendary lord. Is it worth offending such a legendary lord? You don't want to improve your strength. The Blackwater Lord has such strength, and the 3,000 Yuanlin Lin is afraid that it will play a big role. Moreover, it can also help us cultivate more legendary lords in the Holy Land." Lord Wushwang said. "Yes, if there were treasures like the 3,000 Yuanlin Lin, I am afraid that I would have been promoted to the legendary realm long ago, and there is no need to suffer in endless years." Lord Baihang said with deep feeling. "If the information is true, 3,000 Yuanlin is enough for us to do it in a holy place, and the Lord of Blackwater did defect to Moshan at the beginning, and destroyed Moshan with other legendary lords, and the 3,000 Yuanlin was not his. It's not too much for us to take away things," said the Lord of the Barren River. "The key is whether the Endless Lord is sure to steal the 3,000 kites. This is an uncertain factor, because we must ensure that we hold the Blackwater Lord for enough time. The Blackwater Lord is stronger than all of us here. We need to invite the Lord of True Spirit to take action, and with him, we can hold the Lord of Blackwater back," Lord Longu suggested. The True Spirit Lord is the second legendary lord in the real Holy Land, and the Dragon Ancient Lord ranks third. The True Spirit Lord has 3 supreme skills, and his strength is similar to that of the Blackwater Lord, but it may be weaker. If there is a True Spirit Lord to join, the success rate of this plan is higher. I'm going to invite the True Spirit Lord. As for the conflict, the Frost-Free Lord, you communicate with the Endless Lord to ensure that Haishwishan will not find it. As for which legendary lords sacrifice their clones, the Barren River Lord, you will arrange it. Remember, those legendary lords who sacrifice their avatars, don't let them know the truth, otherwise the Blackwater Lord will spy on their past, and they will find the truth, and then they will find out that we really stole his 3,000 kites," Lord Longu said. Lord Wanghe agreed and said, "Yes, you really can't tell them the truth. When the time comes, you can compensate them for their losses and make up for it. As long as the Lord of Blackwater doesn't know the truth, no matter how much he spy on time and space, he will find that the truth is inside the Blackwater Mountain. Something went wrong, he stole his 3,000 kites from the inside, and we really have no holy place or just used pawns. Thanks to the strange ability of the Endless Lord, not afraid of time and space exploration, and disguised identity, it is difficult to see through, otherwise this plan will be difficult to implement," Lord Wushwang said. Subsequently, Lord Longu went to invite the Lord of True Spirit. The True Spirit Lord has been retreating and cultivating. No matter what, the major affairs are usually managed by the Dragon Ancient Lord, but if the True Spirit Lord is really needed, he will also help. On the other hand, Lord Wushwang discussed with Yi Tian about killing some legendary lords in the Holy Land. First, the number of kills must be large, and it is best to kill a few legendary lords with relatively high status. Only in this way can Zhen Wusheng be angry. And Yi Tian needs to disguise as another Transcendence legendary lord to make a shot, which requires killing another Transcendence legendary lord of Haishwishan, which is very simple for Yi Tian. Yi Tian, as the Lord of Qingwan, invited the body of a legendary Lord of Transcendence to a treasure, and this legendary Lord of Transcendence also had a clone, which was also targeted by Yi Tian's duplicate body. This legendary Lord of Transcendence is called Lord Baiyun. This day, after Yi Tian led out Lord Baiyun, he simultaneously attacked his body and clone, instantly annihilating him, and immediately copied Lord Baiyun's body and returned to Blackwater Mountain. In this way, Lord Baiyun and Lord Qinghuan of Blackwater Mountain are both copies of Yi Tian's bodies. This kind of duplicating body is indistinguishable from the original body in any way, and the world recognizes his identity. Not long after, Lord Wufrost informed Yi Tian that the Holy Land was ready. He can act now. So, Yi Tian went directly to a realm without the Holy Land as Lord Bai Yun. In this territory, a group of legendary lords are meeting, because a treasure land has been discovered here, and they are discussing the development of the treasure land. An extremely precious mineral vein has been discovered in this treasure land, and it is being excavated, and a lot of it has been excavated. The above stipulates that after they have finished digging, they can distribute some of them themselves, and hand over the rest to the Holy Land. Thus, they negotiate later assignments. Unexpected. Yi Tian came as Lord Bai Yun. Buzz. A legendary lord was killed by Yi Tian, and even a transcendental lord was killed by Yi Tian. Then, Yi Tian pretended to snatch the resources and many treasures here. Zhang Qian Zhaohao immediately escaped and returned to the Blackwater Mountain. No holy place. A group of legendary lords reported that they had been attacked by a legendary lord of transcendence. This was a provocation against the Holy Land and a declaration of war against the Holy Land. Boom. One after another, the lords of the legendary realm were furious, and the Lord Wushuang came directly to the place where the accident happened, and prying into the space and time saw Yi Tian disguised as the Lord of Bai Yun. Lord Bai Yun, who was disguised by Yi Tian, was shielded from the past by the legendary lord of the realm of no holy land, so even if he spied on the past, he couldn't spy, so he couldn't find out the truth. But the outside and the breath were not concealed, and it could be deduced that it was Lord Bai Yun of Haishui Mountain. Blackwater Mountain. Lord Wufrost was furious, as if he was really furious. As a result, a legendary realm lord came to Haishui Mountain. And every legendary realm lord is full of killing intent. Chapter 1762 Stealing 3,000 Kites. The legendary lords of the Holy Land, how did they come to me? 1 inch. The Blackwater Lord frowned. Although there are no powerful legendary realm lords in true no Holy Land, there are enough legendary realm lords. Although he wasn't afraid of the Holy Land, he didn't want to provoke them either. After all, let the clone deal with it. 1. The Lord of Blackwater decided. He has 2 clones, which are enough to deal with these things. Unless there are special circumstances, the main body will never take action. Outside the Blackwater Mountain. The avatar of the Blackwater Lord has torn the river of time and stopped these legendary lords who are really without holy places. The Blackwater Lord's gaze turned to the True Spirit Lord, and he was suddenly a little surprised. The True Spirit Lord is not much weaker than him. He is a very ancient legendary lord, and he has always been in charge of things. Usually, the Dragon Ancient Lord handles affairs, but he did not expect to come out now. Everyone, what are you doing here at Haishuishan, and you have murderous intent on your face, could it be that I offended you? Asked the Lord of Blackwater. Lord Longu said. Lord Blackwater, your Blackwater Mountain is too much, to send a top-detached lord to kill a large number of legendary lords in our real 873 Holy Land and snatch a lot of resources. This is a provocation for us. How is this possible? The Blackwater Lord was stunned. The legendary Lord of Haishuishan attacked a territory in the Holy Land. How could this be possible? Which transcendental legendary lord did it? Asked the Lord of Blackwater. You Lord Bai Yun of Haishuishan. Frostless Lord said. We are spying on time and space, this matter cannot be wrong. Lord Longu said angrily. I will personally catch Lord Bai Yun over here and confront you all. Lord Blackwater grabbed the void and grabbed Lord Bai Yun directly from the Blackwater Mountain, that is, Yi Tian's duplicate body. Yi Tian naturally knew what happened, but pretended not to know anything. Lord Blackwater wanted to spy directly into Yi Tian's past, but he couldn't spy, his face suddenly gloomy, and he had a bad idea. At this time, Lord Longu asked, Lord Bai Yun, is it you who attacked and killed our territory without Holy Land? Yi Tian panicked directly. I did it on the order of the Blackwater Lord, it has nothing to do with me. CJFI, the Lord of Blackwater is stunned, when did he let Lord Bai Yun do this? Next moment, Yi Tian directly annihilated this cloned body. In the eyes of outsiders, Lord Bai Yun directly annihilated this clone. It must be a clone. Otherwise, how would he dare to annihilate the body like this? Lord Blackwater's face was extremely gloomy. He knew that he had been trapped, and immediately tried to lock the body of Lord Bai Yun, but he couldn't lock it, and he couldn't detect everything. There is a legend that the Lord of the Realm blocked the past of the Lord Bai Yun, and he could not locate the Lord of Bai Yun. That is to say, Lord Bai Yun actually took refuge in other legendary lords and deliberately pitted him, causing him to have a conflict with the Holy Land. Explain. How can this be explained? There is absolutely no explanation. The legendary realm lords of the really no holy place spy on the time and space and confirm that it is the leader of Bai Yun, and the Lord Bai Yun admits it. Lord Blackwater, you are too arrogant. Do you think that we really have no holy land and there is no peak legend lord, so no one can do anything to you? The true spirit lord was also enraged. Go. One after another legendary realm lords took action, besieging this clone of the Blackwater Lord. In an instant, the Blackwater Lord fell into a disadvantage. Immediately, the second clone of the Blackwater Lord came. The arrival of the two clones is still no match for the many legendary lords of the Holy Land, because these legendary lords have come with at least 2 clones, and the combined legendary battle strength is as high as double digits. And the battle is getting closer and closer to the Blackwater. If this is the case, the Blackwater Mountain will inevitably be affected. No, the main body must join the battle. The Lord of Blackwater decided. His body has not been shot for a long time, and his combat power is much stronger than his own combat power. He first resisted these legendary lords of the Holy Land, and then invited some other legendary lords to talk to each other. Only then can this problem be solved. Wow! The body of the Blackwater Lord emerged from the Void River separation array and fought with the legendary lords of the Holy Land. The Blackwater Lord originally wanted to drag the battlefield to the long river of time, but the legendary lords of the Holy Land were not happy, but now the body of the Blackwater Lord has come out. The legendary lords of the true No Holy Land began their plans. A top-notch median eternal treasure was sacrificed. One of the 3 eternal treasures of the Holy Land, the ancient mirror of time and space. In an instant, the ancient mirror of time and space created a forbidden area, trapping the 3 bodies of Lord Black, and fighting with him. Blackwater Mountain. Yi Tian was summoned and immediately began to act. As the Lord of Qingwan, he came to the nameless Black Mountain, and looked at the virtual river boundary formation. He has long understood this great formation, and immediately mobilized the power of time-dripping water, pierced through this great formation, and his body instantly entered it. After entering the virtual river barrier formation, Yi Tian encountered the second big formation. This should be the formation created by the Lord of Blackwater. Let's call it the Blackwater Great Formation. Yi Tian secretly said. The Blackwater formation has turned into endless black water, forming this formation field. Once it passes through the Blackwater formation, it will be detected by the Blackwater Lord. This is the second insurance of the Blackwater Lord. It will definitely be discovered by the Lord of Blackwater, but I don't care about anything. I directly use the power to control time to pass through the Blackwater formation and then leave quickly. The Lord of Blackwater is currently trapped by the legendary Lord of the Holy Land, even if he tries his best. It takes some time to get out of trouble. Yi Tian thought to himself. The power of time collided with the Blackwater formation, forming a time channel. Yi Tian stepped over and passed through the Blackwater formation. Immediately, he came to the inside of the nameless Black Mountain where the Blackwater Lord retreated and practiced. In the void, 3,000 kites floated there. Sure enough, there are 3,000 kites. Yi Tian no longer hesitated, his body became huge, grabbed the 3,000 yuan line with one hand, and quickly broke through the Blackwater formation and the virtual river barrier formation, ready to leave. Outside the Blackwater Mountain, the trapped Blackwater Lord was very angry. He sensed that the Blackwater formation was touched, and someone wanted to snatch his 3,000 kites. Who is it? For the first time, he thought of Lord Mofeng. He didn't know that Lord Mofeng was dead, so he suspected that Lord Mofeng planned all this, and deliberately led him to fight with the Holy Land, thus stealing 3,000 kites. Chapter 1763 3,000 kites are here. Everyone, there are other legendary realm lords who deliberately framed me. My Haishuishan treasure was stolen, you continue to block me, and you and I will never die. The Lord of Blackwater said angrily. Killing our legendary Lord of the Holy Land, yet so arrogant. The true Spirit Lord said coldly. Immediately, the Lord of the legendary realm of the true No Holy Land attacked more vigorously. Because they all knew, Yi Tian was afraid that he succeeded, and he was able to make the Blackwater Lord so angry, which proved that their plan was right. The other side, Yi Tian escaped, taking 3,000 kites with him, constantly tearing apart the space, and quickly escaped from this area. Then, Yi Tian returned to the Holy Land. A legendary realm lord of the Holy Land received Yi Tian, and brought Yi Tian into a virtual river barrier formation in the Holy Land, and placed 3 to Qian Yuan line inside. As a result, the Lord of Blackwater did not even want to find 3,000 kites. And the entire escape process, there are legends lords erased traces, Blackwater lords cannot track. Outside the Blackwater Mountain, the battle of the legendary lords continued, and soon some legendary lords came, all of whom were friends of the Blackwater Lord. These legendary lords mainly came to persuade In the end, the true Spirit Lord and other legendary lords retreated, but they asked for compensation. Although the Blackwater Lord was very angry, he still gave it. Blackwater Mountain, the interior of the unnamed Montenegro. The Lord of Blackwater came back, and saw the empty cultivation place, and the 3,000 yuan line had disappeared. Immediately, he peeked into time and space, and saw a familiar figure, Lord Qingwan. Then, he was dumbfounded. Lord Qingwan could actually control the time, but he wanted to see Lord Qingwan's past, but he couldn't. Immediately, he traced the escape route of Lord Qingwan, but soon the clue was broken, and the trace was erased by the Lord of Legendary Realm. He cannot be traced. Damn, who is it? He believes that this Qingwan Lord must be fake, not only the Legendary Lord of Transcendence, but also the half-step Legendary Lord who has just controlled the time and has not yet attacked the Legendary Lord. Surely so. The Blackwater Lord kept searching, but to no avail. In other words, 3,000 yuan line was really lost. Mo Feng, is that you? The Lord of Blackwater said with a gloomy face. If it was Mo Feng, he had to be careful. If Mo Feng became stronger than him in the future, he would definitely come to retaliate against him. 3,000 yuan line is still useful to me. Although it is difficult to help me break through to the realm of the Peak Legend Lord, it can at least improve my strength. 1. The Lord of Blackwater said helplessly and angrily. But there is no way, he can no longer find the 3,000 yuan line, the enemy is ready, it is impossible for him to find. No holy place. One after another, the lords of the legendary realm came back, and Yi Tian had long since annihilated the cloned body of the Lord Qingwan, which completely cut off the clues. At this time, Yi Tian and many legendary realm lords were comprehending near 3,000 yuan line. What kind of treasure is this? It actually contains 3,000 abilities, 3,000 kites, and each scale contains magical effects. However, a scale is only suitable for one person to comprehend, and two people cannot comprehend together. The true Spirit Lord said. These 3,000 kites are enough for us to give birth to many legendary lords in the Holy Land, but we must be careful, and the half-step legendary lord must also be reviewed, and we must have sufficient contributions and qualifications to the Holy Land before we can enter. Here is enlightenment, and you must make an oath of Taoism, not to reveal everything here, a little restraint. Lord Longu suggested. This is for sure. In addition, the 3,000 kites were stolen by the Endless Lord. The Endless Lord can have the first cultivation authority. He can go to any scale of the 3,000 kites for enlightenment. The other legendary lords must give in. Question. The true Spirit Lord suggested. No problem. A legendary lord agreed. Afterwards, one after another, the lords of the legendary realm began to go up to comprehend, knowing the usefulness of each scale, so as to record them, and the later ones would know. Yi Tian also went up to study and try it out. Enlightenment on this scale can increase perception. On this scale, you can comprehend time. 1. This piece of scale can comprehend space, you can comprehend it. Cultivation on this scale can actually speed up the cultivation of the legendary body. Cultivation on this scale can accelerate the increase of willpower. For flowers, Yi Tian kept trying, and finally found a scale suitable for his current state. On this piece of scale, Yi Tian found that he could actually increase the speed of his body to fuse the will to rule the world, and he could increase the speed by about 100 times, which was already terrifying. Since Yi Tian can freely use the scales here, Yi Tian directly let the 3 cloned bodies come here to practice. One is to cultivate the willpower, one is to enhance the body and the will is to rule the world, and the other is to enhance the perception, so as to realize the supreme skill of creating time. As for the 2 scales of enlightenment time and enlightenment space, the Lord of Legendary Realm and the Lord of Half-Step Legendary Realm take turns to enlighten. Point 0. Of course, there are also some scales that can assist in comprehending space and time, but they are not key enhancements but only side effects. They are also very popular, and almost all of them are occupied. After a while, some half-step legend realm lords were allowed to enter here to learn about the 3,000 kites. Among them, there is Lord Wumong. Oh my god, such a treasure. Lord Wumong was shocked. After comprehending such a treasure, his strength can increase very quickly, and he has the opportunity to be promoted to the legendary lord. Of course, it is not yet his turn to comprehend time and space, but he can comprehend other scales. As the years passed, the strength of the half-step legendary realm lords of the real No Holy Land has greatly improved, and the strength of the legendary realm lords is also improving. And during this period of time, Junwu Holy Land kept looking for Haishuishan to make trouble. This was just a show, or else Junwu Holy Land didn't do anything, but it was suspicious. Therefore, it is necessary to find trouble, so that the Lord of Blackwater will not think that this matter has something to do with the Holy Land, and the Holy Land is also one of the victims. However, what the Lord of Blackwater didn't expect was that the real messenger behind the scenes was the real Holy Land. Before you know it, tens of millions of eternity years have passed. And the matter of really no holy place in Haishwishan has come to an end. Although there is nothing, but the two forces are in an unfriendly state. On this day, a piece of good news came, and another half-step legendary lord of the real no sacred land took control of the time. Chapter 1764 The third highest technology of time, time to escape. The half-step legend lord of this breakthrough is the Dust World Lord, who was second only to Bihang Lord at the beginning and stronger than Frostless Lord. Legendary Realm Lord. Even if there is a bridge of time, one can enter the long river of time to practice, but there is still a slight difference from beginning to end, but now he has finally entered the final step with the help of 3000 U online. We really have no holy place to have another legendary lord. Lord Longu said very happily. The Lord of the Dust World is in control of time, and can hit the legendary Lord realm at any time, and the Lord of the Dust World is infinitely close to controlling time. Now that he has broken through, it will not cause suspicion from the outside world. Hence this day, under the protection of several legendary lords, the Lord of the Dust World entered the 8 and 90 long river of time to make a breakthrough. Everything went very smoothly, no other legendary lord came to trouble the Lord of the Dust World, and the Lord of the Dust World successfully broke through to the realm of the Lord of the Legendary Realm. Subsequently, the other legendary lords of the Holy Land are also trying to understand. If they break through to the peak legendary lord realm, then the Holy Land will instantly become the top power of many eternal seas in the void area, not just the top of the boundless sea, power. A peak legendary realm lord, as long as he does not offend those incomparably terrifying peak legendary realm lords, is almost an invincible existence. If he casually crushes an ordinary legendary realm lord, he can naturally bless a peak force. At that time, no one would dare to snatch it even if the 3000 kites were exposed in the Holy Land. It is a pity that it is too difficult to become the Lord of the Peak Legend realm. The Blackwater Lord is also very talented. He has occupied the 3000 U online for so long, but there is no way to use it to break through to the Peak Legend Lord realm. It can be seen that he has become the Peak Legend realm. The difficulty of the Lord is high. Over the years, Yi Tian has made great progress. He constantly fuses his body and his will to rule the world. The speed of fusion is very fast, and his strength is getting stronger and stronger. At this speed, he will be able to completely fuse the body and the will to rule the world in less than a long time. At that time, he is the half-step legendary realm lord, and he can go to the legendary realm lord realm. This day, Yi Tian has made a breakthrough in the supreme skill. He created the third time supreme skill. This time it is the speed class time supreme skill. Although he does not need it very much, once he fights against the legendary lord in the future, Rui Shu Tiansuo, there are some problems, it is not as good as the speed class time supreme skill. Yi Tian named the newly created time escape as time escape. Where time is where he is. For the half-step legendary realm lord, once Yi Tian uses time escape, he is almost invincible. No matter how powerful the half-step legendary realm lord can't catch up with him, and can't keep up with his footsteps and figure, if the defense is poor, Yi Tian will definitely be forced to death. It can be said that, except for the legendary lords, Yi Tian is not afraid of any half-step legendary lords, and can even fight with a group of half-step legendary lords, and can slowly defeat them. The drip of time, the barrier of time, the escape of time, and before I know it, I have mastered the 3 supreme skills of time. Yi Tian muttered. Among the lords of the legendary realm, there are only a few who master the 3 supreme skills, because it is too difficult to create the supreme skills. But he is different, he possesses the legendary time ancestral gift, so he can have such a terrifying speed of comprehension and comprehension in time, and can quickly create the supreme skill of time. Strive to master the 4th supreme skill when you become a half-step legendary lord. Yi Tian muttered. Afterwards, he continued to work hard to cultivate enlightenment. On the other hand, the Lord of the Stupor was not willing to find the murderer, and after thinking about it, there was only one way, and that was to seek the help of the Lord of the Border. The Border Lord is his master's master anyway, even if the Border Lord left after he saved him last time, he doesn't want to have anything to do with him anymore. However, the relationship could not be completely erased. If he begged the Border Lord, he could still ask the Border Lord for help. He doesn't need the Border Lord to take action, he just needs the Border Lord to investigate who killed his descendant, the Broken Star Lord, that's all. As a result, the Lord of Stupid Star began to look for the Lord of the Border. The Border Lord is difficult to find, so it is very difficult to find him. However, the Lord of Strange Stars is still searching, finding other eternal seas from the infinite sea, and even going to the hometown of the Border Lord to find them. Perhaps it was his persistence, and finally on this day, he found the Border Lord, or it was the Border Lord who let him find it. Lord Stupid Star, what are you asking me for? If you ask me to help you get revenge, that's impossible. I won't be involved in your disputes, and I won't take care of anything, said the Border Lord. The Lord of Stupid Star hurriedly bent down and pleaded, Lord of the Border, I didn't want you to avenge me, but my descendant was killed by a transcendental lord who could control time. I checked, that transcendence lord was killed. He should have perished a long time ago, and it is not a detachment lord, but a legendary lord of the realm, obviously disguised by a strong man. But I can't spy on his past, nor can I detect his identity, so I asked the Border Lord to help me explore the identity of the enemy. The Border Lord was silent for a long time, but still said, okay, I'll help you, but from today, you won't come to me anymore, there is absolutely no causal connection between us, understand? Clear, the Star Lord nodded, take me to the place where your descendants fell, and I'll take a look. The Border Lord said, yes. The Lord of Stupid Star led the way, and soon came to the void area where the Lord of Fragment Star fell. It's here, Strange Star 5.8 Lord Road. Let me see. The Border Lord's eyes passed through time, spy on the past scenes, and quickly locked the scene of the broken Star Lord being killed, and also stared at the replica body that Etienne disguised. Boom. The Border Lord began to spy, and the power of time and space penetrated, but he was still unable to spy on Etienne's past. Strangeness. The Border Lord frowned, he can only see what happened in the past, but he can't spy on Etienne's past. Go to the ruins of the Wying building. The Border Lord said. Yes, the Lord of Strange Star replied. But he was a little worried, wouldn't even the Border Lord find the murderer? No, I should be able to find it, this is the Lord of the Peak Legend Realm. Chapter 1765 about to break through. Moment, the Border Lord and the Star Lord came to the ruins of the Star Building. After coming here, the Border Lord's eyes passed through the past time and space, and spy on the past scenes. Soon, he locked the position of Etienne's copy body, and then spy on the place where Etienne came. Even with the shield of the Legendary Lord, it cannot stop the spying of the Peak Legendary Lord. But he continued to spy, only to find that Etienne came from the Holy Land. After a long time, the Frontier Lord said, the one who killed the Broken Star Lord was indeed a legendary Lord of Transcendence, and he came from the real Holy Land. As for which one is the real holy place, you need to investigate and lock on a few targets of the real holy place. I will spy a few more times, and maybe I can guess it. 1. Immediately, the Frontier Lord came to a territory in the Holy Land, and quietly spy on the past of a legendary Lord of Transcendence, and then spied on the other legendary Lords of Transcendence in the Holy Land. Finally, the Frontier Lord learned that there was a very powerful transcendental legendary Lord born in the Holy Land, the Endless Lord. After, the Border Lord spy on the past time and space, trying to probe into the past of the Endless Lord. He is directly somewhere in the Infinite Sea, the area where the Endless Lord has been, where he spy on time and space, but when he spy on Etienne. The shock happened, he couldn't spy on Etienne's past, there was no Peak Legend Realm Lord in the Holy Land, so it was impossible to do so. Moreover, this feeling of being unable to spy is exactly the same as when he spied on the mysterious detached Lord before, unable to spy. This time, the Border Lord can be sure. Etienne is the transcendental Lord who killed the Broken Star Lord, this is beyond doubt. But he did not continue to investigate Etienne, because it was unnecessary, and he felt that Etienne was very difficult, so that he could not spy on the past. Even if other Peak Legend Lords helped him to block the past time and space, they could not spy at all. He actually doesn't want to offend such a legendary Lord of Transcendence. What if the other party has something to do with the Eternal Master? So, he said truthfully, Lord Stupid Star, I can almost lock the identity of the legendary Lord of Transcendence, but he doesn't seem to be simple, I can't spy on his past, maybe it has something to do with a powerful existence. I suggest you not to be an enemy of him, otherwise things will easily happen. If you don't want to know, this incident today should not have happened. But if you want to know, you must not mention what happened today, and you must not see me again, or I will kill you. The Border Lord said it very seriously, without the slightest joking tone. Lord Wei Xing was silent for a while, and then made up his mind, Lord Border, I want to know. 1. The Border Lord sighed and said, "Endless Lord." After speaking, the Border Lord disappeared. Endless Lord. The Lord of Stupid Star muttered to himself and wrote down the name. Afterwards, he went to investigate this Endless Lord. The real famous record was to visit the ruins of the Yangli Lord. At that time, he was still in the realm of a half-step transcendence legend. It is said that he may have taken the Yangli Lord, treasures of the inner area. Lord Endless, if he really controls time, this is too. The Lord of Strange Star felt that it was too amazing, and some couldn't believe it. But the result of the Border Lord's investigation should be true, and it is unlikely to be wrong. Then, he investigated the growth trajectory of the Endless Lord. One word, fast. The strength has improved very quickly, and he is quite low-key, but in the real Holy Land, everyone knows that he is very powerful, but it is not very clear how powerful he is, and he has a good relationship with the legendary Lord Wushwang. It should be him, although I don't want to believe it, but his cultivation is improving too fast. Moreover, he is now in the legendary Lord realm of the Peak Transcendence realm. Once he breaks through to the half-step legendary realm Lord realm, he can even directly attack the legendary realm. Realm Lord level. The Lord of Strange Star muttered. Such an evildoer, he never wanted to offend him before, but now he is his enemy. Kill, you must kill him before he breaks through to the realm of the legendary Lord. 1. The Lord of Strange Star thought. But killing the Endless Lord Yitian is not easy, the opponent's body must be hidden in the Holy Land, and killing one or two clones is meaningless. Unless you really enter the Holy Land, there is no way to get in touch with Yitian's body. First build the Void River Boundary Array. I will hide in the Void River Boundary Array, and then I will attack and kill the Endless Lord, and I will kill him even if I don't want to kill him. No matter how powerful he is, it is only a detachment. The legendary Lord of the Realm, I can kill him in an instant, the big deal is to lose a clone. 1. The Lord of Strange Star thought. Moreover, when the main body is hidden, the legendary realm lords who really have no holy place don't even want to find him, and they can't lock the position of his main body through the connection of the clone. So, this is the perfect plan. Afterwards, the Lord of Stupid Star began to build the Void River Boundary Array somewhere in the Void area. After a period of time, the construction of the virtual river boundary formation was completed. Immediately, the body of the Lord of Stupid Star stayed in the Void River Boundary Array, and a clone came to a distant place outside the Holy Land. Immediately, he stepped into the 890-time river, looking for Yitian's position. Hey, can't find it. The Star Lord was stunned. Yitian should be in the Holy Land, why can't he find it? Soon, he thought of a possibility. The Void River Separation Array, the true Holy Land is too strict with the protection of the Endless Lords, and he even hid his body in the Void River Separation Array. This is because he is afraid that the legendary Lord will assassinate the evil spirits in hope of the true Holy Land. The Lord of Stupid Star cursed secretly. Being hidden in the virtual river barrier formation, he couldn't lock Yitian's position, how could he attack and kill? I will continue to wait, I don't believe that your body will stay in the virtual river barrier for the rest of your life. 1. The Star Lord thought to himself. Time passed slowly, Yitian has been in seclusion here in Sancheniu Online, and his strength has improved rapidly. He also doesn't know about Wei Xing, and if he knows it, he is not afraid. Lord Stupid Star's body is in the Holy Land. In fact, every clone of his body is the body, even if one is killed, it doesn't matter. Before you know it, long years have passed. After 60 million eternity years, Yitian finally came to the most critical moment. His body is about to completely fuse the will to rule the world, that is to say, he is about to break through to the half-step legendary Lord realm. Chapter 1766 Fighting with the Lord of Strange Stars. Finally breaking through, Yitian was quite excited. He has been cultivating for so long, and he has 3000 Yu Online to assist him, and now he is about to break through to the half-step legend Lord realm. Once he breaks through, it won't be long before he can hit the legendary realm Lord realm. How can he not get excited? Only by becoming the Lord of the legendary realm can he be qualified to be ranked in the high-level combat power of the Void region, otherwise, he will not be able to deal with any Lord of the legendary realm. Furthermore, after becoming the Lord of the legendary realm, with the power of my supreme legendary body, plus the time barrier of time defense to the highest technology, I am afraid that even the ordinary Lord of the legendary realm will not be able to annihilate my body with a single blow. Yitian muttered. Moreover, his fourth time to high skill is finally about to be comprehended. This time, the fourth time he created is an advanced time-enhancing skill. He now has no shortage of attack, defense, and speed, so it is particularly important to increase the time-enhancing time to an advanced level. Space and time contain everything, so time can also be transformed into the power of amplification. But this time, what ETN is trying to create is a domain that increases time to high technology. In this time domain, ETN can greatly increase his own attack power and the power of time dripping, and his strength will be greatly improved. It is difficult to create such a time-high technology, but at least it is almost created. A few years later, ETN first became a half-step legend. Boom! ETN's body is transforming, and his body is completely integrated with the will and rules of heaven and earth, which is equivalent to breaking the shackles. The endless power of heaven and earth from the outside pours into his body, and the endless source energy, will power, and rule power are all turning into him, the power of. At this time, his supreme legendary body also broke the shackles and was promoted to a new level. The strength is constantly rising, and this is the transformation from the legendary Lord of Transcendence to the half-step legendary Lord. At the same time, ETN's sixth order will is also improving. Originally, his sixth order will was only in the middle stage, but now it has reached the later stage in an instant, and finally reached the level of sixth order peak will. However, the sixth order peak eternal will to the seventh order eternal will is a big shackle, and it is not so easy to break through. However, it is already very good to be able to upgrade to the sixth order peak will this time. When he enters the realm of the legendary Lord, the eternal will inevitably be upgraded to the seventh order level, and even more than the early stage of the seventh order, and it is possible to directly reach the seventh order peak will. After a long time, ETN stabilized the half-step legendary realm. It's so powerful, I feel like I can crush my previous self easily. Quote. ETN said in shock. He guessed that his current strength could be compared to a legendary lord. Even if he couldn't, it wouldn't be much worse. I don't know when, I can try it with a legendary lord. ETN secretly said, just breaking through, he is not suitable to attack the realm of the legendary lord. Although it is difficult to continue to improve his strength after reaching the half-step legendary lord, his supreme legendary body can be improved again, and when the supreme legendary body cannot be improved, the half-step legendary power has increased to a certain extent. At that time, he can go to the realm of the legendary lord, and it won't take long. And, the time firm has a treasure that can quickly increase the legendary body and half-step legendary power of the half-step legend lord to the peak, and the price is not expensive, so the increase itself is not large. That kind of treasure is called eternal divine water, and a pound of eternal divine water is only 10 billion time coins. ETN doesn't know how much eternal divine water he needs, but buying 10 pounds should be about the same, so most legendary realm lords can refine a few kilograms of eternal divine water. However, most of the half-step legendary realm lords would not waste time buying eternal divine water, because it is unnecessary, they would rather slowly cultivate and improve, because the rapid upgrade is useless, will they be blocked by the great shackles of the legendary realm. It is better to improve the cultivation base while comprehending time or space. Wasting so many resources to buy eternal divine water is really a waste. But ETN didn't care, he just wanted to attack the legend realm lord earlier. Then go to the time firm. 1. ETN flew out of the Holy Land, leaping across the space in one step, preparing to descend to the infinite sea branch of the time firm. But just when he left the Holy Land, the strange Star Lord, who had been perceiving time and space to spy on ETN, sensed that ETN had come out. It must be the body. The Lord of Strange Star said. According to normal thinking, the headquarters is the main body, and the clone is elsewhere, and ETN came out of the Holy Land, what is this not the main body? Immediately, the stupefying Star Lord took action, directly crossing the river of time, and slammed one hand towards ETN. He didn't use the stupid star arrow because he didn't bring it with him. The stupid star arrow is of high value. It is a mid-level eternal treasure that combines a lot of empty sea gravel. This clone of him may not be able to escape. Is it really holy? Moreover, he is just a legendary Lord of Transcendence, and he can kill in seconds with only one hand. Quote. Hey, that's not right, the half-step legend is the Lord. Lord Wei Xing sensed ETN's cultivation, but his movements did not stop at all. As long as he does not enter the legendary Lord, he can kill him. The Lord of Strange Stars. ETN was a little surprised that the Lord of the Strange Star attacked and killed him unexpectedly. He didn't have time to think too much, and immediately cast the time barrier, which is a time to high level, and fully motivated the high legendary body. At the same time, time escaped to cast. However, time escape did not evade the attack of the Lord of Stupid Star. After all, the other party was the Lord of the Legendary Realm, and it was still difficult for one Qian Nuo's door to dodge his attack. Boom! Lord of Stupid Star, on the attack, it shatters and smashes, and the body is cracked. However, Yi Tian blocked it and was not obliterated. Time drips. Yi Tian counterattacked the Lord of Strange Stars. A drop of time dripping bombarded the Lord of the Star. The Lord of the Star wanted to ignore the blow, but the power of the drip of time barely reached the realm of the Lord of the Legendary Realm, and he could not ignore Xian. Boom! Under the blow of a drop of time, the Lord of Stupid Star was shaken back. Then, the silhouettes of the legendary lords appeared one after another, and they were all the legendary lords of the Holy Land. Lord Stupid Star, you are courting death. Lord Longu said angrily. The Lord of Stupid Star dared to attack and kill Yi Tian. This is the real anger of the true Holy Land. Chapter 1767 The Lord of Stupid Star is stimulated. Boom! Many legendary realm lords who really have no holy place took action, surrounded the avatar of the Star Lord, and blocked the time and space, not giving the Star Lord any hope of escaping. I actually failed the attack. Lord Wei Xing was stunned, but he went all out, and he didn't kill Yi Tian with a single blow. He also saw that Yi Tian actually possessed the Supreme Time Defense Technique, and also possessed the Supreme Legendary Body, which prevented him from attacking with all his strength and not dying. Moreover, Yi Tian was able to counterattack him unexpectedly, and it was an attacking time supreme skill. In addition, Yi Tian also used a speed movement type time supreme skill. It can be said that in a short period of time, Yi Tian displayed 3 supreme skills. A half-step legend realm lord who just broke through, used 3 supreme skills. And as an ancient legend lord who has broken through countless eternity years, he can only have 1 supreme skill. For him, mastering a supreme skill is already a great thing, and he has always been proud of it. But this time, he was really hit. Half-step legendary realm lord, who controls time, 3-door time supreme technology, supreme legendary body, how can such a monster be born in the void area? The Lord of Stupid Star felt that his cognition was broken, and he couldn't believe it. At this time, he remembered the reminder from the Border Lord. The Border Lord said that the Endless Lord is not ordinary, not an ordinary legendary lord, maybe it has a lot of background, maybe it has something to do with the great existence of the 890 series. Now, he believes it. After all, Yi Tian was able to condense to the high legendary body, and he must have obtained the empty sea gravel, the time river beads, and the ancient leaves of space and time, and as far as he knew, the ancient leaves of space and time seemed to be only the old man with white beards. Of course, there are also eternal masters. Therefore, Yi Tian is either related to the eternal master or related to the white-bearded old man. No matter what the situation is, it is enough to prove that Yi Tian is really extraordinary, and the origin is not as simple as he investigated. Yi Tian possesses 3 time supreme skills and supreme legend body, and also controls time. He can't kill Yi Tian at all. Assassination is almost a ridiculous thing, don't even think about killing Yi Tian in the future. However, he is not reconciled. At this time, Lord Longu had already transformed into his body, a primitive ancestor of hundreds of millions of feet, and countless scales had transformed into his toughest defense. Boom! The Lord of Stupid Star bombarded Lord Longu's body with 1 blow, and was directly ejected. Lord Longu's defense was too strong, and his attack could not break through the defense of Lord Longu. He didn't find it strange at all. For a long time, Lord Longu is a little stronger than him, and in terms of defense, it is the advantage of Lord Longu, and he cannot break the defense of Lord Longu. But suddenly, he was dumbfounded. I saw the claws of Lord Longu grabbing it, and this claws contained incomparably mysterious time power. The many realms of time on the Lord of Stupid Star were directly smashed, and the claws directly attacked the Lord of Stupid Star, breaking his legendary body. The body of the Lord of Stupid Star turned into countless streamers and gathered in another place, but there was a wound on his body. How come? The Star Lord was dumbfounded. This is clearly a supreme skill, an attack-type time supreme skill. But the key point is that the Longu Lord has never realized an attack-type time supreme skill, only a defense-type time supreme skill, so the defense is invincible, and other powerful legendary lords are difficult to defeat Longu Lords, but Longu Lords can't defeat those legendary lords who are not weak. But things are different now. Lord Longu has come to realize an attack-type time supreme skill. Even if it is a bit rough, it is undoubtedly time supreme skill. Possessing 2 time to high skills, Lord Longu's strength has skyrocketed by a large margin, completely surpassing him. This moment, the Lord of Stupid Star was envious. If he could also comprehend the two supreme skills, how good would it be? Unfortunately, he failed to comprehend. However, what the Lord of Stupid Star did not know was that Lord Longu was a long way from comprehending the second supreme skill, but he could comprehend it with the help of 3000 Yuanline, so not long ago, he finally took the help of 3000 Yuanline. Yuanline comprehended the second supreme skill, which greatly increased his strength. Not only has his strength soared, but the other legendary realm lords of the true No Holy Land have more or less improved their strength. For example, the Lord of the Wild River has also learned a supreme skill, from an ordinary legendary lord to a powerful legendary lord of eternal supreme skill. Boom boom boom, the attacks of the legendary lords covered him, and he was severely injured soon after. In a short time, the avatar of the Lord of the Stars was completely shattered and annihilated. Somewhere in the void, the main body of the Star Lord showed a wry smile. The clone was killed, and Yi Tian didn't die. It can be said that this attack suffered great losses. The point is, don't even think about killing Yi Tian in the future. Lord Endless, what is your identity? He was a little scared. If the Endless Lord has something to do with the white-bearded old man, or the Eternal Master, will his life be in danger? Moreover, even if Yi Tian grows up in the future, he is no longer an opponent. If one day, Yi Tian becomes the Lord of the Peak Legend Realm, he will even be easily killed by Yi Tian. At this moment, where does the Lord of the Stars still think of revenge? At this time, life is the most important thing. Let's retreat here. Unless you break through to the pinnacle of the legendary realm lord, you must never leave. The Star Lord secretly said. No holy place. Lord Longu and the others asked with concern. Lord Endless, are you all right? 1. Fine. Yi Tian shook his head and said. Lord Wufrost asked. Lord Endless, have you realized the supreme skill of time? Yes. Yi Tian didn't hide it, and he couldn't hide it. Just now, he used the supreme skill of time. These legendary realm lords will know after a little investigation. I have learned 3 times supreme skills, 1 defense, 1 speed movement, and 1 attack. Yi Tian said truthfully. Many legendary realm lords were dumbfounded one by one. The 2 legendary realm lords, Baiheng Lord and Wushuang Lord, who had not yet realized the highest skills, were immediately envious, and some were struck. Lord Longu was also stimulated. He finally realized the second supreme skill with the help of 3000 Yuanline, but was told that Yi Tian had already realized the 3 supreme time skill, and Yi Tian was only half a step legendary realm lord. If Yi Tian had broken through to the level of a legendary lord, wouldn't he be able to create more than 7 or 8 supreme skills by himself? This is too monstrous. He immediately changed the subject. Lord Endless, when are you going to attack the legendary lord? Yi Tian said. I'm going to go to the Time Chamber of Commerce, buy some time divine water, raise the cultivation base and the supreme legendary body to the peak as soon as possible, and attack the legendary realm lord in the best state. Unstable foundation. That's okay, you can go. 1. Lord Longu nodded. Immediately, Yi Tian stepped away and went to the time firm. Chapter 1768 Start to attack the legendary lord. Time firm. Yi Tian came here and contacted the legendary realm lord Xinyang Lord. Soon, the Lord of Xinyang came. The Endless Lord. The Lord of Xinyang remembered Yi Tian, a big client, a very heroic legendary lord. No, he is now the Lord of the half-step legendary realm. Seeing that Yi Tian was already a half-step legendary realm lord, Xinyang Lord was quite surprised. He knew Yi Tian a little bit, but now the speed of cultivation is too fast. Of course, he didn't care too much. After all, he was only a half-step legendary realm lord after all. Yi Tian bought 2 treasures from the time firm, so it is not too surprising that he has now broken through to become a half-step legendary realm lord. Faith Lord, I want to buy some eternal divine water from the time firm. Yi Tian said. Okay, how much is the Endless Lord of the eternal divine water per pound of 10 billion time coins? Asked the Lord of Xinyang. Yi Tian said. 10 caddies. 10 caddies, that's 100 billion time coins. The Lord of Xinyang was extremely happy, and this was also a big deal. Yi Tian didn't have any time coins in the account of the Time Chamber of Commerce, so Yi Tian sold some treasures, which was converted into 100 billion time coins. Soon, Yi Tian completed the transaction and obtained 10 caddies of eternal divine water. After that, Yi Tian left the Time Chamber of Commerce and returned to the Holy Land. After returning, Yi Tian began to announce the retreat, refining the eternal divine water. The eternal divine water is a bit peculiar. It does not have a specific color, the color changes all the time, and even the breath changes all the time, but because of this, it is very easy to identify. Yi Tian didn't stare at the eternal divine water to study, he swallowed some eternal divine water in one gulp, endless eternal energy emerged, and began to temper his body and enhance the half-step legendary power. This kind of improvement is much faster than the improvement of oneself, and even the auxiliary effect of some of the scales of the 3000 kites is not as good as this. After all, the eternal divine water is recognized, and it is the most suitable for the promotion of the half-step legendary lord, treasure. With the passage of time, Yi Tian is getting closer and closer to the peak in the half-step legendary realm lord level, and the supreme legendary body is getting stronger and stronger. After many years, Yi Tian finally refined 10 kilograms of eternal divine water, but he could still improve a little in the half-step legendary realm lord level, so he went to the time business again and got 10 kilograms of eternal divine water again. After refining the eternal divine water this time, Yi Tian finally reached the pinnacle of the half-step legendary realm lord, and it was difficult to continue to improve no matter what aspect he took. Of course, he is not much stronger than when he just broke through to the half-step legendary lord. After all, it is difficult for the half-step legendary lord to improve his space. Unless he controls time or space, his strength can soar suddenly. In other aspects the improvement is not enough. And Yi Tian has long grasped the time, so to him, this improvement is nothing, it can only make the foundation more stable. After stabilizing the realm for a period of time, Yi Tian was ready to attack the legendary realm lord. For the lords of the peak legend realm in the nothingness area, under the lords of the legendary realm, they are just ants, and the lords of the legendary realm are considered to have entered the door. This is not false, because those peak legend lords are indeed too powerful. But only by becoming the lord of the legendary realm, can you be eligible to compete for the level of the lord of the peak legendary realm. This day, Yi Tian notified Lord Wushuang and Lord Longgu, and announced that he was going to attack the realm of the legendary lord. Lord Wushuang and Lord Longgu knew that Yi Tian was going to attack the legendary lord realm, which was not surprising. After all, Yi Tian had already controlled the time and could attack the legendary lord at any time. For Yi Tian's breakthrough, Zhengwu Holy Land attaches great importance to it. 6 legendary realm lords, plus the clones, a total of more than a dozen legendary realm lords fighting strength, together for Yi Tian. In addition, other legendary realm lords are always ready. Once there is an attack by a legendary realm lord, all legendary realm lords in the Holy Land will take action to suppress the enemy. It can be said that unless it is the lord of the peak legendary realm, it is difficult to effect this breakthrough. But how could the lord of the peak legend realm destroy a half-step legendary lord to attack the lord of the legendary realm? Time is long. Yi Tian came here, and the lords of the legendary realm were guarding around the long river of time, always paying attention to the situation around him. Ask for flowers. Yi Tian is very calm, not nervous at all. He is different from other half-step legend realm lords, each of his cloned bodies is the original body. Even if this cloned body fails to break through, it will not affect other cloned bodies, he can make breakthroughs again and again. The other half-step legend realm lords are different. They can only use the body to break through. Once they fail, they really fail, and it is difficult to make a second breakthrough. Of course, if no one destroys, it is impossible to break through and fail. Start breaking through. Yi Tian began to manipulate time, completely merging with time, and turning into time incarnation. Far away, Mount Suyang. The white-bearded old man is playing chess with another peak legend lord. 0. Suddenly, the white-bearded old man looked at Time Chang, smiled slightly, and continued to play chess. Whitebeard, what is it that draws your attention? Another peak legend lord asked curiously. The little guy I'm concerned about is about to break through to become the lord of the legendary realm. The white-bearded old man mentioned it casually. Breaking through to become a legendary realm lord, this little thing makes you care. The peak legendary realm lord was surprised, and immediately thought of something, and asked, is that the legendary lord who gave you the ancient leaves of time and space? Yes, the white-bearded old man nodded. Whitebeard, courage, we are so good, how many times I ask you for ancient leaves, you just don't give it to me, a little guy who is not related to you comes and asks for it, you give it. The lord of the peak legend realm was dissatisfied. Ha ha ha, Sanmu, if you want the ancient leaves of time and space, it's not for your junior. It's not me saying that the ancient leaves of time and space are a complete waste for him. The white-bearded old man said ruthlessly. The lord named Sanmu Peak Legendary Realm did not refute the white-bearded old man. Indeed, his descendants are relatively average, although they are not small, They are all accumulated by him with countless resources, but they are still not enough to see the real evildoers. The little guy you value, if you can't become the lord of the peak legend realm in the future, you will be slapped in the face. The three-eyed lord smiled. Then watch it. The white-bearded old man continued to play chess and stopped talking about it. Chapter 1769 finally broke through, the lord of the legendary realm. Time is long. Yi Tian's breakthrough soon came to a critical moment, and Lord Longu and the others were very nervous, for fear that a strong person would interrupt Yi Tian's breakthrough. The most calm is naturally Yi Tian himself, he is not nervous at all. Everyone, pay attention to prevent the Lord of Stupid Star from sending clones to make trouble. Lord Longu reminded everyone. However, from the beginning to the end, the Lord of Stupid Star did not appear. They don't even know that the Lord of the Stars has been frightened, and I am afraid that it will be difficult to see the Lord of the Stars for a long time. Yi Tian began to completely melt time and became a legendary Lord of the Incarnation of Time. Breakthrough officially started. Endless time power poured into Yi Tian's body, prompting his body to complete the final transformation. His supreme legendary body broke through. The will state, 8 or 9-0, broke through, from the 6th order peak eternal will to the 7th order eternal will, and in the 7th order eternal will, the rate of improvement was incomparably fast. Soon, the breakthrough was complete. At this time, Yi Tian's body was filled with the breath of a legendary lord. Finally broke through. Yi Tian was extremely excited. The realm of the legendary lord, this is the realm he has always dreamed of, and now he has really broken through. And for a period of time after the breakthrough, his comprehension is in an extremely active and increasing stage, and if he comprehends something at this stage, the speed will be much faster. So, after Yi Tian thanked these legendary realm lords, he immediately came to 3000 yuan line and began to retreat and practice. Originally, he wanted to go to enlightenment before the lord of the legendary realm, but he became the lord of the half-step legendary realm first, and then he became the lord of the legendary realm first. However, he himself is about to create the 4th time supreme skill, and after breaking through at this moment, he will be able to create the 4th time supreme skill soon. Sure enough, it didn't take long for the 4th door to be created. The time domain. Yi Tian gave this time supreme skill such a name. The time domain is a special domain world, which can increase your combat power, increase other time to high skills, and also have a certain restraint effect. After some years passed, Yi Tian really stabilized the legendary realm Lord Realm. The Lord of the legendary realm, the eternal will in the late 7th stage, the highest legendary body is small, and the 4 time is the highest skill. 1. This is the strength Yi Tian has now. The supreme legend body is Xiaocheng when it reaches the legend realm lord. If it reaches the peak legend realm lord realm, then the supreme legend realm is Dacheng. If it becomes the eternal master, it is the real perfection. In the late 7th order, the eternal will is almost the pinnacle of most legendary lords. It is extremely difficult to upgrade to the 8th order. This is a huge shackle. Even the peak legendary lords may not be able to change the eternal will. Raised to the 8th level. And the will of the eternal controller is the real 8th order or even 9th order. It can be said that in the realm of the Lord of the legendary realm, almost no one will improve the eternal will because it is too difficult to improve at all. Basically, after breaking through to the legendary lord, what level of will is raised? That's almost it. It is extremely difficult to go further, and it is almost impossible to find treasures that can enhance the will of the legendary lord in the void area, and there are no secrets. Skills can enhance the will of the legendary lord. Unfortunately, I thought I could reach the 7th order peak eternal will. Yi Tian muttered. Of course, at this level, he was already very satisfied. For the lords of the legendary realm, it is difficult to improve the will, and the most important thing is to create the highest skills, and to understand time or space. Yi Tian has already controlled the time, and his next step is to control the space. If he can control the space, he will break through to the peak legend realm Lord Realm. However, as the lord of the time legend realm, it is too difficult for him to control the space. Yi Tian also tried to comprehend the space, but some force prevented him from comprehending the space, so it was difficult to comprehend anything. After stabilizing the realm, he created the 4th time supreme skill, and Yi Tian communicated with several legendary realm lords. He has only now broken through to the realm of the legendary lords, and his understanding of the level of the legendary lords is only one-sided, so it is easy to know the future cultivation route by trading with these legendary lords. On this day, several legendary lords communicated together. Lord Endless, your current strength is probably beyond ours. Lord Longu said, Where? I just broke through to the realm of the legendary lord. Yi Tian said modestly. Immediately, Yi Tian asked. Everyone, after breaking through to become a legendary lord, can you only improve your strength by creating supreme skills and comprehending space? Lord Longu said. It's not like that. The legendary power of the legendary lord is almost endless, and he can even extract power from the long river of time or the empty sea, so there is no problem of improving the cultivation base. Eternal will is also difficult to improve, the legendary body there is almost no way to improve. For the general legendary lord, there is indeed only one way to create the highest technology. However, if you really want to improve your strength, this is not the only way. The legendary lord controls time and space, which is the peak. The legendary lord, the fusion of time and space, is the eternal controller. But you should feel the endless lord, we want space, it is too difficult, there is almost no way to comprehend, the speed of comprehension is very slow. As long as you comprehend the long years, you can sense a little progress. However, the roads are infinite, and time and space are only the most fundamental sources. If the eternal Taos derived from time and space are controlled, such as the way of water, the way of fire, the way of earth, etc., then you can increase the hope of taking control of the space. It is indeed the case. For example, I am trying to control the way of ice now. If I can completely control the way of ice, I can increase my strength a little bit, or 5.8 can realize the time faster, then the obstacles will be less, said the Frostless Lord. Is it difficult to control other Taos? Yi Tian asked. Lord Longu nodded. It is indeed difficult, but it is many times easier than controlling space. It is rumored that there is a person who controls the level of a legendary lord, controls many paths, and finally controls space easily, and because he controls many paths, in the fusion of space and time, it is also much easier than other peak legend lords. I understand, many thanks to the lords for imparting their experience. Yi Tian thanked. At this time, Lord Longu proposed. Lord Endless, your strength is probably surpassing me now, but I still want to fight with you, I wonder if it is possible. Okay, Yi Tian nodded, he also wanted to know how his current strength was. Chapter 1770 I want to copy the legend-level Kendo ancestors. Time is long, Yi Tian and Lord Longu came here, and only in the long river of time, they can fight with confidence without worrying about causing any damage to the outside world, and no matter how the Lord of the legendary realm fights, don't think about affecting the long river of time. Boom, Lord Longu has been transformed into his main body, which is his strongest state. Countless scales and a high-level defense time have made his defense to an incomparably terrifying level. And Yi Tian didn't underestimate Lord Longu. After all, Lord Longu also learned 2-time supreme skills, and it has been a long time since he entered the legendary realm. Maybe he has controlled other Taos, so his strength is naturally not bad. So, Yi Tian didn't hold back. The high-tech time barrier is added, and the high-tech time domain shrouds this long river of time, increasing his strength. Then, Yi Tian used time escape again, and the speed became incomparably fast. Time drips. Another time to high-tech display, a drop of water directly penetrated the Longu Lord. At this time, Lord Longu was really stunned by Yi Tian's methods. It turned out to be 4 supreme skills, he thought Yi Tian was only 3 supreme skills. With the increase of time domain 29, the power of time dripping becomes extremely terrifying. Lord Longu mobilized the highest skill of time, the void-splitting dragon claw, which collided with Yi Tian's time dripping. Boom, Lord Longu's claws were shaken back. Then, the dense time was bombarded with dripping water. This is the strength of the legendary lord. He uses the supreme skill of time as a basic attack, and the half-step legendary lord cannot do this. Kaka kaka, a large number of scales on Lord Longu were shattered, but such an injury was nothing to Lord Longu. Immediately, Lord Longu got close to fighting Yi Tian. However, Yi Tian's time to escape made him too fast, and it was difficult to lock his position. As a result, Lord Longu became a living target. In addition, Yi Tian condensed the supreme legendary body, and the strength was extremely terrifying, even an ordinary punch was enough to hurt the Longu Lord. Now, the other legendary realm lords of the Holy Land were all watching the battle. Seeing that the Longu Lord was completely crushed, they laughed and discussed each and every one of them. The strength of the Endless Lord is much stronger than that of the Dragon Ancient Lord, and I am afraid that it is much stronger than the True Spirit Lord. 4 supreme skills, plus the supreme legendary body, you can't even think about being powerful. According to this trend, Lord Longu won't last long. I think Lord Longu can admit defeat, this is not a competition, this is being beaten. After a while, Lord Longu was seriously injured. At this time, Lord Longu said, "Lord Endless, I admit defeat and stop fighting." Yi Tian stopped fighting immediately. At this time, other legendary realm lords also came. "Lord Endless, your strength is so powerful that you are not like the legendary lord who just broke through. If other legendary lords underestimate you, it will be miserable." Lord Longu sighed. Many lords smiled and were amazed at Yi Tian's strength. Yi Tian humbly said a few words, and soon dispersed. After going back, Yi Tian thought about how to cultivate next, and directly comprehend the space. It was too difficult. You still have to control other Taos, and by controlling many Taos, you will eventually control space. Yi Tian planned. Under time, Yi Tian had to ponder the first Tao that should be controlled. After thinking for a long time, he was ready to control the swordsmanship. The main attack of Kendo is a very powerful path under time and space, and he himself has a certain foundation for Kendo. However, just comprehending in such a days, it is definitely not possible, the speed is too slow. It seems that you must acquire a Kendo talent at the legendary ancestral level. 1. Yi Tian thought to himself. Just like the legendary time ancestral gift, it is precisely because of this talent that he can quickly control the time. Otherwise, he is afraid that he will not control the time now. If he obtained the same level of Kendo talent, he must have taken too long to master Kendo. If you want to obtain the Kendo talent of the legendary ancestral level, you must copy a large number of Kendo talents of the legendary ancestral level. I want to find a large number of Kendo talents of the legendary ancestral level. 1. How to find? Perhaps it is too difficult for a legendary lord or a half-step legendary lord, but for a legendary lord like Yi Tian, it is not very difficult. He can find a creature with legendary Kendo ancestors, and then spy on his past and find his ethnic group, and maybe he can find more legendary Kendo ancestors. This is also the fastest way. However, which ethnic group is most likely to have a large number of legendary Kendo ancestors, this needs to be investigated. Therefore, Yi Tian began to enter the book library of the Holy Land, and asked other legendary realm lords to find information in this regard. Soon, he found a racial group with legendary Kendo ancestry. Heavenly Sword Clan. There are a lot of people in this clan, and they are not the 890 races with little intelligence like the Purple Aurora Beast. The Heavenly Sword Clan is a race with real great wisdom, similar to a race like the human race. Everyone in the Tianjian tribe has Kendo talent, and the best of them have legendary Kendo ancestry. In addition, 3, of which the Emperor Peaked is the competition lord. The Lord of the Peak legendary realm is the Lord of Sword 1 of the Tianjian clan. He is known as the number 1 Kendo in the Void area. Incomparably terrifying top-notch high-tech. Therefore, Lord Jianyi's reputation in the Void area is still very large. However, with Lord Jianyi present, very few people dared to break into the Tianjian clan's territory. I broke into the Tianjian clan's territory privately, fearing that something would happen, or I still find a way to visit Lord Jianyi, so that I can enter the Tianjian clan's territory and copy those legendary swordsmanship ancestors. Yi Tian secretly said. Afterwards, he inquired about it, and knew that Lord Sword 1 would only meet legendary lords who were proficient in Kendo, and at the very least he had to be in control of Kendo, or a peak legendary lord. For ordinary legendary lords, he was almost invisible. Therefore, he wanted to see Lord Jianyi, but there was nothing he could do at the moment. However, although he couldn't see Lord Jianyi, he thought of a way to enter the Tianjian clan's territory. Chapter 1771 Control the Swordsmanship. The Sword 1 Lord of the Heavenly Sword Clan is the Lord of the Peak legendary realm. It is normal for Yi Tian not to see him, but he can visit the other 2 legendary lords of the Heavenly Sword Clan. The other 2 legendary realm lords of the Heavenly Sword Clan are just ordinary legendary realm lords, but they don't have the arrogance of Sword 1 Lord. If Yi Tian visits these 2 legendary realm lords, there is still hope to enter the Heavenly Sword Clan's territory. Visit Lord Motoko. Yi Tian decided. Lord Yuanzi is an ordinary legendary lord and one of the 3 legendary lords of the Heavenly Sword Clan. So on this day, Yi Tian came outside the Heavenly Sword Clan. Since it is far from the core of the Heavenly Sword Clan, Yi Tian only copied the Kendo talent of some nearby Heavenly Sword Clan. There are not many Tianjian clansmen with legendary Kendo ancestry. Yi Tian secretly said. However, he still copied the talents of these Heavenly Sword clansmen. There is really no holy place, the Endless Lord, come to visit the Lord Yuanzi. Yi Tian reported his identity and said. He did not go through the long river of time, and went directly to Lord Yuanzi. If he dares to step into the Tianjian clan's territory in a way that takes a long time to enter, I am afraid that he will directly offend the Sword Lord, and maybe the opponent will slash over with one sword and directly kill Yi Tian's copy body. Therefore, you can honestly visit. Soon, Yuanzi of the Tianjian family learned that a legendary lord came to visit him. Endless Lord. Lord Yuanzi felt that the name was very unfamiliar, and he didn't know who the Lord of Endless was, so he went to check it, and this time he was quite surprised. The new Lord of the Legendary Realm, and his cultivation speed is very fast, he has quickly broken through from the Legendary Lord to the realm of the Lord of the Legendary Realm. Lord Yuanzi thought for a while, and decided to meet him. Such a talented Legendary Realm Lord may have the hope of entering the peak Legendary Realm Lord realm in the future, and it would be good to know him. Then he conveyed an order to let Yi Tian enter the Heavenly Sword clan. Soon, Yi Tian, led by a half-step legendary lord, went to the cultivation treasure place of the Lord Yuanzi. And after entering the Tianjian clan's territory, Yi Tian fully started the copy talent, copying the kendo talent of each Tianjian clan. Arrive, Yi Tian came to the residence of Lord Yuanzi, which is the Yuanzi realm of the Heavenly Sword clan. It is named after Lord Yuanzi, and there are many Tianjian clansmen in Yuanzi-ji. That's right, now I can copy a lot of legendary kendo ancestors here. Yi Tian was secretly delighted, but did not show it. I have seen Lord Yuanzi. Yi Tian said, Lord Endless, please take a seat. Lord Yuanzi was also quite polite. Yi Tian sat down and said, Lord Yuanli, this visit is mainly for getting to know each other, and by the way, I would like to ask about swordsmanship. Does the Endless Lord also study kendo? Lord Yuanli became interested. Immediately, Yi Tian and Lord Yuanzi began to discuss kendo. Yi Tian does have a good opinion on kendo, although he is not as good as the Yuanli Lord, at least he will not lose face. This discussion has been going on for many years. On this day, Yi Tian said, Lord Yuanzi, I see that the kendo atmosphere of the Tianjian clan is very good, I want to travel here, I wonder if it is possible. No problem, but the Endless Lord still has to pay attention. In some places, outsiders are not allowed to go, otherwise, I will anger the Lord Jianyi, and I can't intercede. Lord Motoko, I understand. Yi Tian nodded slightly. Immediately, Yi Tian strayed in the Tianjian clan's territory, seemingly straying, but was actually copying the kendo talents of the Tianjian clan. Some years have passed, Yi Tian has almost copied all the legendary swordsmanship ancestors of the Heavenly Sword clan. It's almost time, Yi Tian muttered. He is going to leave the Heavenly Sword clan and go back to fuse these legendary kendo ancestors, which should be able to merge into a legendary kendo ancestor. Afterwards, Yi Tian left the Heavenly Sword clan and returned to the Holy Land. Fusion. Yi Tian began to fuse a line of legendary kendo ancestry, and as time passed, a line of legendary kendo ancestry merged, making Yi Tian's legendary kendo ancestry more and more powerful. After a long period of time, Yi Tian integrated a large number of legendary kendo ancestry, and finally made a qualitative change in the legendary kendo ancestry. Legendary kendo ancestors have been promoted to legendary kendo ancestors. Finally successful, Yi Tian was quite excited. With the legendary kendo ancestry, it would be much easier for him to learn kendo in the future. This day, Yi Tian came to Sanshin Yuanline, sat on the scale that could assist in comprehension of kendo, and began to comprehend kendo. Immediately, Yi Tian comprehended the kendo at an extremely fast speed. After a period of time, the effect is great. Yi Tian was extremely surprised. At this speed of comprehension, it seems that it does not take him too long to master the way of kendo, perhaps tens of millions of eternity years, he will be able to master the way of kendo with certainty. For the Lord of the Legendary Realm, the mere tens of millions of eternity years is really nothing. So, in the following years, Yi Tian's cloned body has been here to comprehend kendo. Time passed slowly, and before you knew it, tens of millions of eternal years passed. 3,000 kites, on the scales of kendo practice. Yi Tian's body suddenly conveyed a kendo aura. This was not an ordinary kendo aura, and all kendos were controlled auras. Yi Tian mastered kendo. At this moment, the other legendary realm lords and half-step legendary realm lords who were cultivating were shocked. What? The Endless Lord controls the swordsmanship. The Lord of Long Guling Qian Nuos was shocked. This speed is too fast. Although controlling the swordsmanship can't improve his cultivation, he is still a common legend realm lord, and the difficulty of controlling space is incomparable, but Yi Tian has only entered the legendary realm lord not long ago, Xian. So quickly, Yi Tian has mastered the swordsmanship. If he masters the other paths, wouldn't he hope to control the space at once in the future? Perhaps, Yi Tian will be the first lord of our true no holy land to become the peak legendary realm. Lord Longu and other legendary realm lords thought so in their hearts. These legendary realm lords are very envious, but they can only be envious. After all, they are not Yi Tian, they cannot make such progress as Yi Tian. Afterwards, they continued to practice one by one and stopped paying attention. After a period of time, Yi Tian took control of the swordsmanship firmly. Controlling kendo is not a lot of strength for him to improve, but it is a new beginning. Chapter 1772 The Highest Technology, Zhuhe Jiangguang. After taking control of the kendo, Yi Tian tried to comprehend the space, and found that his speed of comprehending the space was faster. It seems that controlling each path really helps to control the space. Don't rush to understand the space. If you can't control the space, the understanding of the space can't improve your strength. Yi Tian murmured. After mastering the kendo, Yi Tian can combine time and kendo to create a brand new supreme skill, which will be more powerful. Of course, it is more difficult to create such a supreme skill. In the days that followed, Yi Tian tried his best to create such a supreme skill. After all, the only attack type that he knew right now was dripping water, and its power was a little weak. Therefore, he wants to create a more powerful supreme technology. With the help of 3000 yuan line, Yi Tian's progress was very fast. When Yi Tian was comprehending 3000 yuan line, another cloned body continued to practice high skills in a void area, trying to combine time and swordsmanship to create a more killing high skills. Practice again and again, endlessly. 10 million eternal years. 30 million eternal years. 80 million eternal years. In the 890 void region, the 100 million eternal year is also called the eternal era. And Yi Tian fully comprehended and practiced 3 eternal era, and this finally created a quite powerful supreme skill. Somewhere in the void, in Yi Tian's hands, a middle-ranked eternal treasure long sword appeared. This sword was named Zixu Sword, and it was one of the 3 eternal treasures left by the Lord of Moshan and Mofeng. Destroy. Yi Tian held the Zixu sword and stabbed lightly, a sword light suddenly appeared, the infinite time and space in front of him shattered like a mirror, and this sword even directly pierced the long river of time. It's done, the power is about 7 times that of the drip of time. Yi Tian said with satisfaction. Although such a supreme skill is still far inferior to the peak supreme skill created by the peak legend lords, it is also quite a powerful supreme skill. Having created such a supreme technique, Yi Tian's strength suddenly improved a lot. Just call it Zhuhe Jiangguang, Yi Tian said lightly. After creating the Zhuhe Jiangguang, Yi Tian rested for a while, and was not in a hurry to continue creating supreme skills. He even accompanied his wife to visit Cjfi and enjoyed a leisurely time. This day, Yi Tian received a message from Lord Longu, and a duplicate body came directly to Lord Longu. Lord Longu, what are you looking for from me? Yi Tian asked. Lord Longu said, Lord Endless, we may have discovered the Lord of Stupid Star. Yi Tian was quite surprised. Have you found the Lord of Stupid Star? As far as I know, he should be hiding in the Void River Boundary Array, right? Could it be that he came out of the Void River Boundary Array? No, the Lord of Stupid Star is still hiding in the Stupid Star Separation Array, but we still found him. Lord Longu said with a smile. What's going on? Yi Tian was puzzled, but the virtual river boundary formation claimed to be able to block the investigation of any legendary realm lord under the peak legendary realm lord. This was no joke. Could it be that we really have no holy land, which legendary realm lord has broken through to the peak legendary realm lord? Yi Tian joked. That's not true. Lord Longu shook his head. It was Lord Mingyan who tried to control space and found a new way, and as a result, he fiddled with a supreme skill that combines time and space. This supreme skill has no other ability, mainly combining the fusion of time and space, spying on time and space, and this is precisely one of the abilities of the peak legend realm lord. Lord of the Underworld, Yi Tian naturally knows this legendary realm. She is the most powerful legendary realm lord in the real No territory. She is also the one who has the most hope of becoming a peak legendary realm lord in the past. She is stronger than the real spirit lord, but she has always been retreat and practice, research breakthroughs from other directions to become the lord of the peak legendary realm. It is said that this legendary lord often ruins his clone, so this legendary lord is very poor and has no resources, so he will come out to earn some resources and continue his research. Originally, she had been in seclusion without ever being born. But last time, the 3000 yuan line was obtained by the Holy Land, and she also entered the 3000 yuan line comprehension practice. With the help of 3000 yuan line, she can be considered to have created a supreme skill. Although it is not very useful to break through to the peak legendary lord, but in terms of tracking the enemy, the Mingyan Lord is second only to the peak legendary lord. Lord Longu, let's go to Lord Mingyan, this time we have to kill Lord Xingxing, or keep his words, the future will be a disaster after all. Yi Tian said. Naturally, this time he must be killed. Lord Longu nodded. Soon, they came to Lord Mingyan. Lord Endless, Lord Longu, you are here. The Lord of the Underworld said. Lord Mingyan, where is Lord Stupid Star? Yi Tian asked. It's here. Lord Mingyan waved his hand, and an area map appeared. The area between the Sea of Void Tranquility and the Sea of Wind and Waves is a little far away from the immeasurable sea. This area of nothingness is of little value. The Lord of Stupid Star chose to build the Void River boundary array here because he was afraid of being discovered, Mingyan said the Lord. Immediately, in front of Yi Tian and Lord Longu, Lord Mingyan once again used that supreme skill, fluctuating time and space, to find Lord of Strange Stars. Buzzing, the time and space in front of him were peeled off layer by layer, and soon a formation appeared in front of Lord Mingyan, Yi Tian, and Lord Longu. And this layer of formation was directly peeled off, revealing the position of the Lord of Stupid Star. At this moment, the Lord of Stupid Star has not noticed anything, and is still practicing in seclusion. It's really him, Yi Tian confirmed. Lord Mingyan, my lord, are you going? Master asked. Forget it, I'm not going, you know the location, you can go. Lord Mingyan is a bit salty, and now he really has no interest in killing. Subsequently, Yi Tian, Lord Longu, Lord of True Spirit, Lord of Desolate River, Lord of Wushuang, Lord of Baihang, one after another, the legendary lords set off, crossed the River of Time, and quickly came to the area where the Lord of Strange Stars was located. It's here. Yi Tian has already sensed the Void River boundary formation, which is almost integrated with the Void area, but in the eyes of the legendary Realm Lord, if the Void River boundary formation is seen at a close distance, it can be seen at a glance and cannot be hidden at all. Inside the virtual river boundary formation, the Lord of Stupid Star opened his eyes and felt that something was wrong. There is a legendary lord approaching. The Lord of Stupid Star panicked in his heart. Chapter 1773 Kill the Lord of Strange Stars. This place is so remote, it is impossible for the Lord of the legendary realm to come here for no reason. The Lord of Stupid Star was very cautious, and directly escaped into the Sea of Empty to prepare to leave. However, boom, a legendary realm lord took action and attacked him directly. It's you. When Lord Wei Xing saw Yi Tian, Lord Longu and other legendary realm lords, he was extremely angry and at the same time extremely puzzled. He is hiding here, how did Yi Tian and other legendary realm lords find him? Could it be that the Holy Land paid a lot of money to ask a Peak Legend Realm Lord to look for him, but the Peak Legend Realm Lords almost all have their own arrogance and principles and rarely do this kind of thing. After all, for the Lords of the Peak Legend Realm, the common Legend Realm Lords are ants. A group of ants came to him to investigate another ant, and the Lords of the Peak Legends generally disdain to do it. At this moment, the Lord of Stupid Star did not think much about it. He will fall if he is not careful now. How can he still think about this? His two clones also shot, fighting for the hope of escape for the main body. At this time, Yi Hao stared directly at the body of the Lord of Stupid Star. Zhu He Jiangguang. Yi Tian held the Zixu sword and slashed with one sword. In an instant, the Lord of the Stars abruptly endured Yi Tian's sword. Boom! The body of the Star Lord was directly penetrated, and this sword directly hit him from the empty sea to the other end. Moreover, the Lord of Stupid Star was injured, and the injury was not light. Endless Lord. The Star Lord was dumbfounded. Yi Tian, the Endless Lord who was only half a step into the legendary realm before, and who would be injured even if he took a single blow from him, is now able to injure him with a single blow, and the injury is not light. Obviously, the strength of the Endless Lord Yi Tian has reached the true top level of the ordinary legendary lord, and is much stronger than him. Moreover, this supreme skill that has just been displayed is many times stronger than the original supreme class. This must be a supreme skill created by Yi Tian, which contains time and swordsmanship. In other words, Yi Tian not only controls the time, but also controls the swordsmanship. The enchanting, the real enchanting, I should have listened to the words of the Border Lord, and shouldn't provoke the Endless Lord. The Lord of Stupid Star regretted it, but regret was useless. War. The Lord of Stupid Star did not hesitate at all, and fought with Yi Tian and the others. And Yi Tian mastered 5 supreme skills by himself. Time to escape, time to drip, time domain, time barrier, virtual river sword light. Plus, Yi Tian has the supreme legendary body. It can be said that he has almost no flaws. Boom, the Lord of Strange Star was directly crushed. Strange Star Arrow. The Lord of Stupid Star used his own median eternal treasure to lock Yi Tian. The Strange Star Arrow is difficult to avoid, it can only be defended. Yi Tian's time to escape also has no way to completely avoid the Stupid Star Arrow, so Yi Tian chooses to resist. The time barrier, plus the median eternal treasure protection, plus the supreme legendary body. Although the Strange Star Arrow broke the time barrier, it was blocked by the supreme legendary body and the middle eternal treasure. Yi Tian was only physically repelled, but he was not injured. The Strange Star Arrow didn't hurt it. 1. The Lord of Stupid Star was extremely disappointed, but he attacked with all his strength, but he couldn't hurt Yi Tian. Soon, the Lord of Strange Star was seriously injured. At this time, he went crazy and sacrificed 2 clones to create an opportunity for the main body to escape. However, the clone has fallen, and the Lord of Stupid Star has not gotten rid of Yi Tian and the others. I know the Border Lord, and I am his disciple and grandson. Who among you dares to kill me? The Lord of Strange Star shouted. He can't take it anymore, although the Lord of the Border doesn't let him say it, but now he's going to die, what's he afraid of? Lord Longu said, if the Border Lord saves you again, we can't kill you. However, the Border Lord never made a move. Zhu He Jiangguang. Another sword from Yi Tian struck. The Lord of Stupid Star was smashed together with the time and space he was in, and was completely killed by bombardment. Somewhere in the void, the Border Lord sensed the fall of Wei Xingxiao, but shook his head. I told you not to provoke the Endless Lord, you should go. He didn't save because he didn't want to get involved. Although Yi Tian, the Endless Lord, was just an ant in his eyes, he could easily kill it. For flowers, however, he will not shoot, he can't see through Yi Tian, this is not normal, in case Yi Tian has an eternal controller behind him, if he shoots, he will die immediately. He doesn't want to die, so he won't go to save the Lord of Stupid Star anymore. Anyway, he has nothing to do with the Lord of Stupid Star, and there is no entanglement of cause and effect. Immediately, he retracted his gaze and continued to fish. Finally killed the Lord of the Strange Star. Lord Longu breathed a sigh of relief. They were all worried that the Lord of Stupid Star would not die, but now there is no need to worry. This time the Border Lord didn't make a move, I'm afraid it was just to end the cause and effect last time, said the Barren River Lord. 0. Lord Longu nodded. It must be the case, the Lord of Stupid Star and the Lord of the Border have no intersection at all. Apart from ending the cause and effect, I can't think of any other possibility. Cause and effect are over, the Border Lord and the Star Lord will have nothing to do, and it is unlikely that they will intervene. 1. Ha ha ha, if Lord Stupid Star has a deep relationship with the Border Lord, he won't be hiding here, and if he appears openly, in the name of Border Lord, we wouldn't dare to kill him. But he is hiding, the meaning is already there. It's obvious. This staggering star arrow from the stupefying Star Lord is not bad, the Endless Lord, you can take it. 1. Yi Tian shook his head and refused, everyone, this stupid star arrow is not suitable for me, so I don't want it and leave it to the Holy Land. That's good, put it in the treasure house of the true Holy Land, if anyone wants it, apply for an exchange. The true Spirit Lord suggested. Soon, they left here and returned to the Holy Land. It didn't take long for the news of the fall of the Lord of Stupid Star to come out, and Boundless Sea was shocked. After all, many legendary realm lords know that the Star Lord is hiding, and it should be hiding in the Void River Boundary Array, but in this case, the Star Lord has been found and killed. This is enough to prove the heritage and strength of the Holy Land. In the future, if they offend the Holy Land, it would be useless to hide in the Void River Boundary Array. Time passed slowly, and before you knew it, hundreds of thousands of eternity years had passed, and the matter of the fall of the Lord of Stupid Star gradually subsided. Chapter 1774 Yi Tian is in control of another way. After the event of the Lord of Strange Stars passed, Yi Tian went into a closed state again. Of course, his body is in retreat, and other replica bodies still have things to do. Yi Tian has already controlled the time and the kendo. In the case that he cannot control the space, he still needs to control other ways. Therefore, he must get more legendary ancestors. For example, for the next Dao to be controlled, he chose Thunder Dao. The reason why he chose a Dao was because he heard that there is a thunder ancestor beast in the void area. There are a lot of such creatures, and all of them have legendary thunder ancestors. Because the thunder ancestral beast is not very intelligent and savvy, even if the talent is high, it is useless. If you cannot control time and space, you cannot become a legendary lord. Therefore, the thunder ancestral beast is not high in the void area, and is even far inferior to the purple, 890, Aurora beast. Although the purple Aurora beast is not very intelligent, the first purple Aurora beast in the void area is very powerful and has become the lord of the peak legend realm. Therefore, for a long time, the purple level light beast has been blessed by the lord of the peak legend realm, and its status is much higher than that of the thunder ancestor beast. The thunder ancestor beast has no status from the beginning to the end, and because the thunder ancestor beast is quite domineering and mighty in appearance, many thunder ancestors of the legendary lord level have been captured by many legendary lords as mounts. In a certain eternal sea, it is an honor to ride the thunder ancestral beast to roam in the void area. Due to the massive arrest of the thunder ancestral beast by the legendary lord, almost all of the thunder ancestral beasts are now hidden. However, this couldn't stop Yi Tian. Soon, Yi Tian found a thunder ancestral beast in Infinite Sea. This thunder ancestral beast belongs to a legendary lord of detachment, but Yi Tian did not disturb the legendary lord of detachment, but secretly spied on the past time and space of the thunder ancestral beast. In a short while, Yi Tian locked the source of this thunder ancestral beast. It was there. Yi Tian tore the time at will, entered the long river of time and rushed to a place in the void area in an instant. This is a thunder field, a very remote area, and the thunder ancestor beasts are hiding in this thunder field. Usually, no one comes here at all, so the thunder ancestral beast has not been discovered. More importantly, the thunder ancestral beast also has the combat power of the top half-step legendary lord. Even if the ordinary legendary lord discovers this place, he will not dare to enter it. As for the lord of the legendary realm, he has no interest in the thunder ancestral beast and will not come here to catch the thunder ancestral beast. That is, Yi Tian, who wants to replicate the talent of the thunder ancestral beast, will come here. Wow, Yi Tian entered this thunder territory, and he had already seen the thunder ancestral beast in the thunder territory. However, he was a little disappointed. The number of thunder ancestral beasts here is a bit small, but it won't come for nothing. Copy. 1. Copy. A legend-level thunder ancestor was copied by Yi Tian, and in a short while, the talents of all the thunder ancestors in this area of thunder were copied. Immediately, Yi Tian left here without attracting the attention of any thunder ancestral beast. In the following period of time, Yi Tian found several gathering points of thunder ancestral beasts and copied all their talents. In this way, Yi Tian gathered the legendary thunder's ancestor Fu. It should be enough, Yi Tian muttered. Immediately, he began to fuse these legendary thunder ancestors. Years passed, and after a long time, Yi Tian finally merged these legendary level thunder ancestors, and made these legendary level thunder ancestors completely merged into legendary level thunder ancestors. The legend level Lei Jifu was born, and Yi Tian's comprehension speed skyrocketed many times. In the days that followed, Yi Tian began to comprehend the Thunder Dao with the help of the 3000 Yuan line Lin. With the combination of the 3000 Yuan line and the legendary Thunder Ancestor, Yi Tian's progress in the Thunder Dao became faster and faster. After tens of millions of eternity years. This day, Yi Tian's body exudes the aura of Lei Dao, which is the aura that completely controls Lei Dao. At this moment, Lord Longgu and Lord Wushuang were dumbfounded again. No way, the Endless Lord has controlled Li Dao again. Lord Baiheng was stimulated. It is also the Lord of the legendary realm. He still broke through first. Why is he almost insignificant now, while Yi Tian has controlled the swordsmanship and the thunderbolt one after another? In this comparison, he was completely turned into scum in seconds. Many legendary realm lords were almost stimulated by Yi Tian, and they worked harder one by one. As for why Yi Tian took control of Kendo and Lei Dao so quickly, they didn't think too much. From their point of view, Yi Tian is purely innate talent, high comprehension, high to an unimaginable level. Other than that, they can't think of any other reason. It's better not to compare with the Endless Lord, otherwise it will be too exciting. Frostless Lord secretly said. After controlling Lei Dao, Yi Tian began to try to combine Lei Dao with time to create a more powerful speed class supreme skill. Because, he felt that his time escape was still not strong enough. The last time he fought against the Bewitching Star Lord, he couldn't even block the Bewitching Star Lord's Bewitching Star arrow. Facing the powerful legendary realm lord, the time escape was almost ineffective. Therefore, he also needs an incomparably powerful speed class supreme skill, preferably suitable for combat. And Li Dao is not only powerful in attack, but also first class in speed, which can be combined with time. In this way, Yi Tian keeps creating drills. One after another went. This time it took longer than the last time to create Zuhei Zhangguanghua. It took Yi 5.8 days and 6 eternal epochs to finally create an extremely powerful speed class supreme technique. Void area. Yi Tian's cloned body practiced the newly created supreme skills here. His body shuttled through the long river of time at an unimaginable speed, and thunder lights appeared on his body, piercing the long river of time and shattering all the barriers of time and space. This speed is many times faster than before. Very good, this supreme technique is much stronger than time evacuation. Time evacuation is just a ghost, but once it is cracked, it will have little effect. And this supreme technique is pure speed and cannot be cracked unless it is better than me, faster. Yi Tian gave this supreme skill a name, and it was called Lei Ji Escape. Created Lei Ji Escape, Yi Tian's strength has been improved a little. Chapter 1775 The Origin of the 3000 Kites. In the years to come, Yi Tian kept collecting all kinds of talents, trying to raise one of his talents to legendary ancestral talents. In this way, he can easily control all kinds of ways in the future. That way, it would be much easier for him to control the space. On this day, Yi Tian was cultivating, and suddenly Lord Mingyan informed them that a meeting was to be held. Yi Tian went immediately. Soon, the legendary lords gathered together. Lord Mingyan, what's the matter? Asked the Lord Longu. The other legendary realm lords were also quite curious, because the Mingyan lords were usually very low-key and did not even attend the meeting of the legendary realm lords, but this time they even invited them to a meeting. That's weird, Lord Mingyan said. I may know some of the origins of 3000 Yuan line. What, Lord Mingyan, do you know the origin of 3000 Yuan line? Many legendary realm lords were shocked. Yes, Lord Mingyan said. I didn't come up with a supreme technique last time, which is comparable to the methods of the lords of the Peak Legend realm, and even the Void River separation array can't stop my spying. I had a discussion with a Peak Legend lord, and the relationship was not bad. Over the years, I have learned a lot of secrets and knowledge from the other party. And once, I happened to know about the 3000 Yuan line, information. What is the origin of 3000 Yuan line? Yi Tian was also curious and asked. Lord Mingyan said. It is said that there is a creature that straddles the timeline between the past and the future, just like the ancient tree of time and space, and only the eternal master can see this creature. If my guess is not wrong, 3000 Yuan line is actually made from the scales of Yuan line creatures, which should come from an eternal master. Eternal master. Many never imagined that the 3000 kites would be related to the eternal controller. The eternal controller should know that we have obtained 3000 kites, but he will definitely not care. Just like a small item of ours was obtained by a small force, and it is regarded as a treasure, we will not care. Yi Tian said. Lord Longu agreed. The Endless Lord is right, even if the 3000 Yuan line belongs to an eternal master, the other party will not care about this small item. 1. Lord Mingyan, just on this point, there is no need to hold a meeting, is there anything else to say? Lord Longu asked. Lord Mingyan nodded. Indeed, I also specifically asked the Peak Legend Lord, what is the value of kite-scale creatures? He said that kite-scale creatures can be refined into a treasure, which can briefly cross the timeline. That is to say, Sanchen Yuan line is estimated to allow us to cross the timeline, but it cannot be used for too long. Moreover, once this is done, Sanchen Yuan line may not be able to use it for a long time. Lord Mingyan, do you want to use the 3000 kites to cross the timeline? Yi Tian asked. There is this plan, although we don't know what will happen in the process of crossing the timeline, but the ancient tree of time and space can definitely be seen, and maybe some ancient leaves of time and space can be obtained, which is valuable enough. If there are other opportunities, if so, we may still hope to be promoted to the Lord of the Peak Legend realm. To tell the truth, I have been comprehending the 3000 kites. I don't think we have any hope of being promoted to the Peak Legend Lord. The Blackwater Lord has occupied it for such a long time, and there is still no breakthrough. We are afraid that there is not much hope, so use 3000 Yuan line to gamble, I think it is worth it. Of course, the 3000 Yuan lands belong to the true Holy Land, so I want to discuss with you. After the Lord Mingyan finished speaking, he waited for everyone's reply. Yi Tian pondered for a while, then asked, how to motivate 3000 Yuan line to cross the timeline. This is a very important question, and if you don't know it, it's useless. I really don't know, Lord Mignon admitted. So, if we want to cross the timeline, we need to cooperate with a Peak Legend Lord, and the Peak Legend Lord cannot cross the timeline, so they must be interested. But, doing so is a bit dangerous and requires your consent. I don't agree, Lord Wushwang retorted. If we cooperate with the Lord of the Peak Legend realm, and the other party directly takes away the 3000 yuan line, we have nothing to do. It is too risky to do so, and there may be danger. We really have nothing to do. The Holy Land cannot compete with a Peak Legendary Realm Lord, and it is also possible that the Holy Land will be destroyed by accident. I don't agree either, Lord Baiheng also said. Lord Wushwang and Lord Baiheng are too far away from reaching the Peak Legendary Lord, and 3000 yuan line is of great use to them, so they disagree. However, Lord Longu agreed. I agree, if there is hope to be promoted to the Lord of the Peak Legend Realm, all the adventures are worth it. Lord Longu said. Except for a few new Legendary Realm Lords, the other ancient Legendary Realm Lords almost agreed. Because it is too difficult for them to continue to improve their strength, even if they have 3000 yuan line, they will only improve their strength in the future, which is comparable to that of the Blackwater Lord, and there is no hope for further progress. Therefore, they are all eager to break through to the peak and pass the 890 legend, even if there is only a glimmer of hope, they are willing to try. Unexpected, Lord Mignon asked Yi Tian's opinion. Lord Endless, what do you think? 3000 yuan line, you have the greatest authority to deal with it. 1. The eyes of many Legend Realm Lords turn to Yi Tian. The Endless Lords do not agree. We can now use the 3000 kites to quickly improve our strength, and your talent is so good, you can quickly control a variety of ways. There is no need to rush to use the 3000 kits. Once you use it, the future is unclear. Even if it goes well, the 3000 yuan line will no longer be able to use it for a long time. Lord Wushwang said. Yi Tian did not speak, but was silent for a long time. In the end, Yi Tian opened his mouth and said, you can cross the timeline, but you must find 2 Peak Legend Realm Lords. In this way, you can be safe. At least the 2 Peak Legend Realm Lords will not occupy 3000 kites together. If the other party is greedy and kills us, there is no room for us to resist. 2 Peak Legend Lords. Lord Mignon felt very reasonable. I will invite the Peak Legend Lord Glacier Lord. The other party's reputation is not bad. Who is the second Peak Legend Lord? Yi Tian suggested. I'll go find the white-bearded old man. Chapter 1776 Goodbye to the white-bearded old man. Old man with white beard. Many legendary lords nodded. The reputation of this Peak Legendary Realm Lord is indeed very good, even better than that of the Glacier Lord, but it is a little difficult to meet the white-bearded old man. It would be difficult for them to visit the white-bearded people. However, Yi Tian had seen the white-bearded old man, and if he went to see the white-bearded old man, there was still hope. So, they agreed with Yi Tian's suggestion. This day, Yi Tian came to Suyang Mountain again. This is the guard lord of Suyang Mountain. The Lord Shanshan appeared. Endless Lord, have you broken through to become a legendary lord? The Mountain Shaker Lord was surprised. Breakthrough by luck, Yi Tian said modestly. Shaking Mountain Lord said, if you break through, you will break through. How can you say that you are lucky? Your cultivation speed is really fast. Since you have broken through to the realm of the legendary lord, how about we discuss it? The Mountain Shaking Lord is very belligerent, but he rarely has the opportunity to learn from each other while guarding the mountain here. Now that Yi Tian is here, he naturally wants to play against Yi Tian. It is good, Yi Tian agreed. Woohoo, the two have entered a long river of time. After all, if they fight with all their strength in Suyang Mountain, the legendary realm lord will be too destructive. Even if Suyang Mountain is protected by a powerful formation, the Lord Shake Mountain does not want to disturb the white-bearded old man. Therefore, there is no problem in fighting in the long river of time. Boom, the river of time surging, and the breath of the Mountain Shaking Lord burst out, far exceeding the average legendary lord. After all, he has followed the white-bearded old man for endless years, and just a little guidance is an opportunity that others can't imagine. Therefore, the Lord of the Mountain is very powerful, and he is not comparable to the general Lord of the legendary realm. Even the Lord of Blackwater is not as good as the Lord of Shaking Mountain. It's just that the Mountain Shaker Lord is too low-key and doesn't go out, so no one knows his power. Shake the mountain. The fist of the Shaking Mountain Lord went straight through the long river of time, killing Yi Tian. If an ordinary legendary realm lord took this move, he would be severely injured. However, the Mountain Shaker Lord is not afraid that Yi Tian will be injured. If Yi Tian can't even block his punch, then it is not worthy of the white-bearded old man's attention. Yi Tian did not choose to dodge, but directly held the Zixu sword and cast the Zuhei Jiangguang. The mountain-shaking blow collided with the virtual river sword light, shaking the river for a long time. I saw Yi Tian's virtual river sword light smash the mountain-shaking blow, bombarded the body of the mountain-shaking lord, and directly knocked the mountain-shaking lord into the air. However, the defense of the mountain-shaking lord was very strong, and he created an extremely powerful defense supreme skill, so he forcibly resisted Yi Tian's virtual river sword light and was not injured. Next, Yi Tian went all out, and Lei Dao's escape made his speed reach an incomparably terrifying level. Bang bang bang! Yi Tian almost suppressed the Mountain Shaker Lord, but it was still a little difficult to hit the Mountain Shaker Lord heavily. After a long time, the two stopped discussing. Lord Endless, you are too powerful. It didn't take long for the Lord to break through the legendary realm. In addition to controlling time, he also controlled the way of swordsmanship and the way of thunder. I only control the time and the way of earth, and I can't compare to you. Straightforwardly. The two chatted for a while before returning to Suyang Mountain from the long river of time. Go, the master wants to see you. Shan Lord suddenly said. Thank you. Yi Tian went up to Suyang Mountain and soon saw the white-bearded old man. I have seen the old man with white beard, Yi Tian said respectfully. The white-bearded old man was still dressed like that, and when he saw Yi Tian, he let Yi Tian sit. After Yi Tian sat down, he did not immediately explain his intention, but played a game of chess with the white-bearded old man. Playing chess at the level of the Lord of the Legendary Realm is not an ordinary game of chess, it is actually a kind of contest. Yi Tian's control on the Dao is naturally far inferior to that of the white-bearded old man, but he can barely manage it for a while, but then he is a complete failure. Yes, among the lords of the Legendary Realm, it is rare to be able to go down to your level. The white-bearded old man praised. Tell me, what's the matter with me this time? The white-bearded old man asked. Yi Tian said truthfully. Has the white-bearded old man heard of the 3,000 yuan lin? 3,000 kites. The white-bearded old man said slightly. I heard of it, what's wrong? Yi Tian said. We have obtained 3,000 yuan line in the Holy Land, and we will definitely use the 3,000 yuan line to cross the time line to spy on the opportunity, but we don't know how to cross the time line, so we are ready to cooperate with the two peak legend lords. 1. The white-bearded old man completely understood, and smiled slightly. I'm one of those, isn't it? Yes. 1. Yi Tian nodded. The white-bearded old man asked again, who is the other peak legendary lord? Glacier Lord. Yi Tian said. Bing, Yuan, yes. The white-bearded old man muttered. Yi Tian sat there, did not continue to speak, but waited for the decision of the white-bearded old man. I'm not interested in crossing the time line, and I know your worries, so let's let the Lord of the Mountain go as far as you can, and treat it as representing me, so you don't need to worry. The white-bearded old man said. Thank you, old man with white beard. Yi Tian thanked. If there is a mountain lord going, even if the ice river lord is interested in the 3,000 kites, he will not take action against them. After all, the mountain lord is there, and the mountain lord represents the white-bearded old man. The white-bearded old man is a peak legendary realm who has made friends with several eternal controllers. He is not comparable to ordinary peak legendary realm lords, and the glacier lord will never offend the white-bearded old man. Afterwards, the white-bearded old man called the Mountain Shaker Lord. Owner, the Mountain Shaker Lord is here. Your clone will go with the Endless Lord Qian Nuos and cross the timeline with the Endless Lord. This is also a chance. The white-bearded old man said. Crossing the timeline, the Mountain Shaker Lord was very surprised. The Lord of the Peak Legend Realm can only spy on the past and the future, but he himself cannot cross the timeline, but he knows that his master has crossed the timeline, and even another clone of the master is still in the future, being led by an eternal controller. Gone. However, once the timeline is crossed, the master is the clone who cannot contact the future, and no one knows what will happen. However, as long as the timeline is crossed soon, after that time, the clone will naturally appear. At that time, you will know what benefits you will encounter. The Mountain Shaker Lord really wanted to cross the timeline, but he didn't have a chance. This time he had a chance. Soon, Yi Tian left Suyang Mountain with the Lord Shaking Mountain and returned to the Boundless Sea. Chapter 1777 Yuan Line Remodeling. Infinite Sea, Yi Tian returned with the Lord Shaking Mountain. The lords of the legendary realm of No Holy Land naturally recognized the Lord of the Mountain. Although the lord of the mountain was the servant of the white-bearded old man, he was also the only servant and the guardian of Suyong Mountain. No one dared to disrespect him. The lord of Shanshan hardly ever goes out, but once he goes out, he represents the white-bearded old man. The lord of the mountain is here, and the lords of the legendary realm of the Holy Land will know what it means. I have seen the Lord shaking mountain. I have seen the lord of the shaking mountain. I have seen the Lord shaking mountain. Lord Longu and the others greeted each other politely. You are welcome, the mountain shaker lord laughed. At this time, Yi Tian said. The white-bearded old man asked Lord Shanshan to follow us. Lord Mignon can go to Lord Glacier. My clone has gone, Glacier Lord said. Not long after, the Glacier Lord came with the peak legendary Lord Glacier Lord. The Glacier Lord came to the Holy Land, and the Mountain Shaker Lord respectfully said, I have seen the Glacier Lord. Mountain Shaking Lord. The moment Lord Glacier saw Lord Shaking Mountain, he probably knew what was going on, and he wasn't angry. It was right for the Holy Land to be so cautious. After all, 3,000 yuan line was indeed worthy of attention. Isn't the white-bearded old man here? Asked the Glacier Lord. Lord Shaking Mountain said. My master has traveled through the timeline, so he is not interested. Ha ha ha, I really envy the white-bearded old man and know the eternal master. I would like such an opportunity, but the white-bearded old man doesn't care much. Lord Glacier said with a smile. Where is 3,000 yuan line? Take me there. Glacier Lord rode. Lord Glacier, please come with us. Lord Longu took Lord Glacier to the Void River Separation Array, which is really no holy land. Soon, the Glacier Lord saw 3,000 yuan line. Sure enough, it's 3,000 kites. Glacier Lord said slightly. He also did not expect that there is such a chance to obtain such a treasure in the Holy Land. Lord Glacier, how to motivate the 3,000 kites to cross the timeline? The Lord of Mignon asked. The Glacier Lord said. First of all, I want to remind you that once the 3,000 yuan line lines are activated, the movement will be very large. At that time, the entire boundless sea will perceive the situation here. I can't hide it from the outside world. At that time, the outside world will know that you really have 3,000 kites in the Holy Land. 1. No problem, we know. Yi Tian and Lord Mignon nodded, indicating that there was no problem. Although doing this, the Holy Land will become the target of public criticism, such as the Lord of Blackwater, who must know that the Holy Land stole his 3,000 kites, and will definitely target the Holy Land, but compared with the harvest, it is still risky. Well, I can mobilize 3,000 kites. In fact, to activate 3,000 kites, time and space must be activated at the same time, and only the Lords of the Peak Legend Realm can do it. Glacier Lord rode. Lord Glacier, you push it. The Lord of the Underworld said. At this time, all the legendary lords of the Holy Land have come, and each of them has dispatched a clone, a total of 15 legendary lords, which is also the number of the true legendary lords of the true Holy Land, without any hidden. After all, for such an opportunity, there is no legendary realm lord in the Holy Land that would ignore it. Together with the Mountain Shaker Lord and the Glacier Lord, there are 17 legendary lords in total. Okay, then I'll push it. The Glacier Lord motivated the 3,000 kites. The power of time and space poured into the 3,000 kites, and the 3,000 kites seemed to come alive in an instant. The power of time and space reshaped Sancheniwanline's body, and Sancheniwanline's body was reshaped at an incredible speed, and the aura on his body became more and more terrifying. Soon, 3,000 Yuanline's aura reached the level of a peak legendary lord, as if it had become a real Yuanline. Boom! The power of Yuanline affected the outside world CJFI, and his body ripped apart the river of time and the sea. Go up, Glacier Lord reminded. Whoa whoa! A legend lord stood on Yuanline's body and landed on the scales one by one. Yuanline entered the long river of time and the sea of time. Half of the body was in the long river of time, and half of the body was in the sea of time, constantly absorbing the power of the sea of time and the long river of time. And Yuanline made too much noise from reshaping his body to entering the long river of time and the sea of empty, and the entire boundless sea felt the movement here. Immediately, a legend realm lord looked over through time and space. What is this? Many legendary realm lords do not know Yuanline, so they are very confused, but there are still legendary realm lords who recognize it. One of them is the Lord of Blackwater, because the 3,000 Yuanline Lin is here. Yuanline, B. In Haishui Mountain, the Lord of Blackwater looked towards Time Cheng and Kong Hai, staring at Yuanline and the legendary lords of the Holy Land, filled with resentment. He still doesn't understand what the Holy Land has been invaded, and what innocent victims are all self-directed by the Holy Land. Damn it, there's no holy place, you even stole my 3,000 kites. The Lord of Blackwater was extremely angry. If it wasn't for the fact that the Holy Land was so powerful, he would not be able to shake the Holy Land by himself, otherwise he would definitely enter the Holy Land directly. At the same time, he also saw the Glacier Lord and the Mountain Shaker Lord, so naturally he couldn't take the lead at this time. Otherwise, a peak legend lord like Glacier Lord could kill him easily. What are they going to do with 3,000 kites? The Lord of Blackwater wondered. If it weren't for the vision this time, he really didn't know that the 3,000 Yuan Lin was in the hands of Junwu Holy Land. Moreover, the 3,000 Yuan line seems to be resurrected, and even he does not know such a method. Infinite Sea, Infinite Mountain, Lord Wuong lives here, and he is the only peak legendary lord of the boundless sea. Yuan line, there is no holy place, it is a force of good luck, to have obtained such a treasure. Lord Wuong was also jealous. He saw the Glacier Lord, and also saw that Yuan line had been activated, and he could no longer enter. He also wanted to cross the timeline, but unfortunately, after this launch, it took too much time for Sanchen Yuan line to travel through the timeline again, and he couldn't even travel through the timeline anymore. If he couldn't travel through the timeline, the 3,000 kites would be of little value to him. As the only peak legendary lord of the Infinite Sea, Lord Wuong was still quite annoyed. Really no Holy Land cooperates with the Glacier Lord and the others, and does not cooperate with him. Does this look down on him? It seems that there is no holy place to beat in the future. Wu Lianghai, the person who decides is my Lord Wuong. Lord Wuong said coldly. Chapter 1778 I saw the ancient tree of time and space. The Holy Land has really become the target of public criticism. Yi Tian muttered. If there is nothing to gain from traveling through the timeline this time, it is indeed a big loss, but it must be tried, otherwise other legendary lords of the real Holy Land, or if he wants to become a peak legendary lord, I am afraid it will take a long time. Moreover, crossing the timeline is one of the abilities of the Eternal Master. You can try it in advance, which is also what he wants. At this time, Yuan line carrying Yi Tian and other legendary lords tore apart the long river of time. Time began to distort, entered an unknown timeline, and disappeared. I can no longer perceive the existence of the duplicate body. Yi Tian's body murmured. At this moment, the duplicate body seemed to have fallen, but it did not fall. There was no past, no present, but went to the future. The past has already happened and can hardly be changed. Unless the timeline of the entire void region is reversed and the time of the entire void region is reversed, the past cannot be repeated. Can't intervene to change anything. Therefore, Yuan line took Yi Tian and the others to the future. Hopefully there will be a big harvest this time. 1. Yi Tian muttered. The other legendary realms of the Holy Land are also secretly looking forward to it, hoping that this time there will be a big harvest. If a peak legend realm lord can be born, then there is no holy place to be afraid of everything, even if it is the Wuong Lord of the Boundless Sea. Don't think about it. There is no holy place. Boom, a legendary realm lord came. Obviously, they came to ask about Yuan line. Lord Mignon, Lord of True Spirit, Lord of Longu, what is that treasure of your really no holy place? A legendary realm lord asked. Yuan line, a treasure that can travel through the timeline, but it's almost useless after one use. It's a treasure we discovered together with the Glacier Lord. The white-bearded old man also sent the Mountain Shaker Lord here. Let's work together to try to travel through the timeline. Try it, you won't necessarily get it. Lord Mignon suddenly moved out of the two peak legendary lords, Glacier Lord and white-bearded old man, and immediately suppressed many legendary lords. Who dares to offend the Lord of the peak legend realm? They didn't dare, so they just asked. They wouldn't say that they coveted the treasures of the Holy Land. Soon, these legendary lords left. The Lord of Blackwater didn't jump out. Lord Longu was surprised. Yi Tian said with a smile, even if Lord Blackwater hates us, it is useless to jump out. What can he do? Of course, he will definitely retaliate against us. As for how to retaliate, it is not clear, we just need to be careful. Yes, the Lord of Blackwater is nothing, but we are afraid of offending Lord Wuong this time. The Lord of True Spirit said. When it comes to Lord Wuong, many legendary lords have solemn expressions on their faces. Before that, it was not that they had not considered Lord Wuong, but Lord Wuong had a bad reputation and was very domineering. If they cooperated with Lord Wuong would have a high possibility of directly occupying 3,000 kites. Really no holy place to cooperate. If the Holy Land really dared to resist, it might be killed directly. Similar things, Lord Wuong has not done. Therefore, after weighing it, they will definitely not look for Lord Wuong. Don't be afraid. Although Lord Wuong is domineering, he will not offend other peak legend lords. We have cooperated with Lord Glacier and the old man with white beard. Lord Wuong will not attack us for no reason, but I am afraid that it will suppress us. There is really no holy place. Lord Mingyan said. Lord Longgu said with a smile, just suppress it. The main thing is that Lord Wuong is not taking action against us, and other problems are not problems. Many legendary realm lords laughed one by one, not too worried. The next step is to wait for their clones to appear at some point in the future. Go to the future timeline, where there are no rules, only the power of time is crossing. If there is no Yuanline's power to protect them, even the Lord of the Peak legend will be shattered by time and turned into nothingness. At this moment, Yi Tian was sitting on the Yuan line, escaping into the future timeline, and in an instant, an ancient tree seemed to lie between the past and the future. The ancient tree of time and space. Yi Tian saw this legendary divine tree. The ancient tree of time and space is extremely mysterious, and its ancient leaves of time and space are necessary to condense to the highest legendary body. Not only Yi Tian saw the ancient tree of time and space, but other legendary lords also saw it. It turned out to be an ancient tree of time and space. Go and see. The Glacier Lord also needs the ancient leaves of time and space. It is useless now, and maybe it will be useful in the future. Then, the Glacier Lord controlled Yuanline to go to the ancient tree of time and space, and came across in an instant. Yuanline surrounds the ancient tree of time and space, and everyone's eyes are fixed on the ancient leaves of space and time. Glacier touched the ancient tree of time and space with one hand, but in an instant, both hands turned into nothingness. No, I can't touch the ancient tree of time and space. The Glacier Lord said helplessly. The timeline does not allow power outside of time. Let's try it with the power of time, pure time power. Yi Tian suggested. Right, the Glacier Lord felt that Yi Tian's proposal was correct. This is a timeline that spans the future. He just used the power of the Peak Legendary Lord, but it was not only the power of time, but also mixed with other powers. 0. Then, the Glacier Lord immediately used pure time power and turned into a hand of time. This time, although it was suppressed and eroded by the power of the timeline, it could at least touch the ancient tree of time and space. Wow, one piece of time. It can be in the hands of the Lord, but when the Lord of the Ice River grabs the second ancient leaf of time and space, the power of one comes from the time, the ancient tree, directly in the hand of time of the Lord of the Water River. No, I can only get one piece. The Ice Lord gave up. If you think about it, if you can take it casually, the Eternal Controller has already taken all the ancient leaves of time and space, and they don't want to get the ancient leaves of time and space this time. Immediately, a famous legendary lord condensed the hand of time to pick up the ancient leaves of time and space. Although their strength is far less than that of the lords of the Peak Legend realm, they are only the hand that controls time and condenses time, and they are not too weak. Whoa whoa whoa. Pieces of ancient leaves of time and space fell into their hands, but they failed to obtain the second piece of ancient leaves of time and space. Let's go, continue to shuttle the timeline, shuttle in the timeline, there is no concept of time, let's move on and try. Glacier Lord suggested. Glacier Lord, let's move on. Yi Tian and other legendary realm lords nodded. Chapter 1779 Travel through the past, the ancient monument of time and space. Yuanline shuttled across the timeline, and countless images passed by, all of which were images of the future. In an instant, they traveled through hundreds of millions of eternity years. Every time you advance a certain distance, the timeline scene you see is different, but from the beginning to the end, the ancient tree of time and space is there, as if the eternal and immortal God is established between the past and the future, and there is no change. It can't go on like this, it's hard to gain anything, we have to turn around and go to the past. Ice Lord said. Go to the past. Many legendary lords frowned. They are not really able to go to the past, they are just like projections of the past, they cannot affect or change anything, and even people in the past cannot see their existence. Moreover, if they want to come out of the timeline, they can only come out from the future, so, 8 and 90, must return to the future timeline when the time comes. I agree, we don't understand the timeline at all. The future is full of changes. What if the future of the timeline doesn't gain anything, and the past is something that has already happened? We can go to a place of great opportunity in the past, maybe some harvest. However, we must consider Yuanline, how long it can last, and if it fails to come back, we get lost in the timeline and can't get out, and we will be completely annihilated in the timeline, then there will be no gain. Yi Tian said. The Glacier Lord estimated and said, I estimated the energy of you online, and then calculated the consumption of going to the past. During this period of time, the biggest chance in the past was the birth of the ancient monument of time and space, but in the end, it was destroyed by eternity. The controller took it away. However, when the desolate time and space monument was born, it still existed for some days. We can go back and forth to that timeline and learn about the desolate time and space monument again and again, and maybe we can get a huge harvest. I have comprehended the ancient monument of time and space, but I have only comprehended it once, and I will never have a chance after that. At this time, the mountain-shaking lord also said, I have also heard of the ancient desolate space-time monument. Among the legendary lords who had comprehended the ancient desolate space-time monument, 3 broke through to the level of the peak legendary lord, and many of them were in the peak legendary realm. The strength of the lords has soared. But at that time, except for the legendary lords who went there at the beginning, the later lords of the legendary realm had no chance to enter at all, and the place was blocked. It was too long ago, and I hadn't become the lord of the legendary realm, so I didn't go. Pass. The other legendary realm lords hesitated for a while, but they all agreed. At least it is better to have an accurate target than to travel through the timeline without a target. Wow, the Glacier Lord controlled you online, turned the direction, and began to shuttle towards the past timeline. Suddenly, pictures from the past appeared on the timeline. Soon, you online consumed a small amount of energy and finally arrived at a timeline position in the past. It's here, Ice Lord said. The next moment, you online tore the timeline and arrived at the past time and space. Past time and space, a void area. It's here, Ice Lord said. At this moment, they are still riding on you online, but whether it is you online or they are in a very illusory special state. Yi Tian also sensed that he was out of tune with this piece of time and space. This is the past time and space, and they came to this time and space in a special state at this moment. He tried to attack. Boom. The power is very strong, but there is no ripple in the void area. It cannot affect the past time and space. Yi Tian completely understands what's going on. No matter how he attacks, he can't affect the past time and space. Even the eternal controller can initially affect it, but it has little effect. What? Without making them wait long, the void area began to change. Boom. An incomparably ancient stone steel appeared, and it was the ancient steel of time and space. The time-space ancient desolate monument appeared, and the time-space area here began to distort, almost even Yi Tian and the others were affected. The ancient monument of time and space can actually affect the past and the future. Many legendary lords were extremely surprised, but this also reflected the power of the ancient desolate monument of time and space. Although they are in the past time and space, there is no problem in comprehending the ancient desolate monument in the past time and space. The reason why the Eternal Masters are so powerful is because they can travel through the past and future time and space at will, and all the opportunities in the void area can be understood by them one by one. Therefore, the strength of the Eternal Controller is becoming more and more terrifying, far beyond the imagination of the Peak Legend Lord. Other legendary landlords are here. The Glacier Lord said. He was talking about the legendary lords of the past time and space. Soon, the lords of the legendary realm arrived and saw the ancient desolate monument of time and space. Suddenly, everyone saw a familiar figure. Glacier Lord. This is the Glacier Lord in the past time and space, and the Glacier Lord this time is not a peak legendary lord, but an ordinary legendary lord. At this time, the Glacier Lord explained, when I was comprehending the ancient monument of time and space, I did not break through, but I was about to break through. It was not long after I learned about the ancient monument of space and time, about a dozen eternal era, before I made a breakthrough. Breakthrough to the realm of the peak legend realm lord. So it is. Everyone nodded secretly. Let's understand it too. Don't worry about the legendary lords of the past time and space. The time is limited, you online stays in the past time and space, and it is also consuming energy points. Our time is very precious. The Glacier Lord urged. Immediately, each of the legendary realm lords, including Yi Tian, were comprehending. Under the effect of the ancient desolate space-time monument, Yi Tian found that the obstacles to space had disappeared, he could comprehend space normally, and obtained an unimaginable increase effect of 5.8. In the past few years, Yi Tian has also collected and copied a lot of legendary space ancestors, but the number is not large and has not caused a qualitative change, but the speed of comprehension in space is still far faster than other legendary lords. I don't know how long it has been enlightened, but everyone is still immersed in enlightenment. Unexpected, the Eternal Master appeared. In an instant, Yi Tian and others were forced to suspend their enlightenment. Boom! An eternal controller who was difficult to see clearly appeared. His appearance directly made the many legendary lords present seem to have been frozen. Time and space were no longer controlled by them, but by the eternal controller. This is a good thing, I want it. The eternal controller grabbed the ancient monument of time and space with one hand. But the next moment, another eternal master appeared. Chapter 1780 Return, Great Harvest. Silver Demon, this treasure should belong to me. 1. Another eternal controller appeared and stopped the eternal controller, the Silver Devil. In the unknown time and space that no one can observe, the two fought for a moment, and finally the ancient monument of time and space fell into the hands of the second eternal controller. Minghai, this time you win. Silver Demon said angrily. Immediately, the Silver Demon disappeared. And the eternal controller known as the Sea of Underworld took away the ancient desolate monument of time and space with only one hand. And at the moment Minghai left, his eyes seemed to penetrate the past and the future, and looked at Yi Tian and other legendary realm lords. This sight made everyone tremble. But the next moment, the master of the Sea of Underworld left. Has he found us? Lord Longu trembled. Naturally I found it. The Glacier Lord said. The Eternal Master can spy on the past and the future, and he can naturally see people with the future coming to this area, unless the Eternal Master can make the other party invisible, and we have no such means. Frostless Leader 29 said, it's the first time I've seen the two Eternal Masters, and I've gained a lot of knowledge. I have met the Master of the Sea just now. He is one of my Master's friends. He used to drink tea and play chess with my Master, said the mountain-shaking Lord. Don't worry, the Eternal Master will not pay attention to us, the legendary realm lords, leave first, and then come in from the timeline just now, and learn about the ancient monument of time and space again and again. Ice Lord said. Immediately, he controlled Yuan Lin to escape from this past time and space, entered the timeline, and then entered here from the time just now, that is, before the birth of the ancient time and space monument. In this way, Yi Tian and the others entered this piece of past time and space again and again, and comprehended the ancient desolate monument of time and space again and again, as if they were constantly reincarnated, but there was one difference, that is, their perception was deepening. Suddenly, the Glacier Lord said, Yuan Lin has reached a certain level of endurance and must return, otherwise we will not be able to support us to return to the original timeline, and we will be completely annihilated in the past time and space. Leave now, Yi Tian and other legendary realm lords hurriedly said. Oblivion in the past time and space, all this is in vain. Yuan Lin must bring them into the future time and space, even in the future time and space after a minute, they can go out, otherwise they will never be able to get out. Boom, Yuan Lin tore the timeline, began to cross the timeline, and rushed back to the original time and space. In a short time, Yuan Lin's breath was very dim, and the 3,000 scales on his body were cracked. Just when it was about to collapse, everyone finally rushed back to the original timeline. In the end, the Glacier Lord and the others chose to go out 300 years after the original time and space, and they dared not move forward, otherwise Yuan Lin would really be unable to carry it. Go out, Yuan Lin, who was about to collapse, rushed out of the timeline with many legendary lords and came to the future time and space, that is, 300 years later. No holy place. Yi Tian and Lord Longu waited silently for the clone to come back one day in the future, and they didn't know how long they needed to wait. Before you know it, 300 years have passed. This day, the time and space of the Holy Land oscillated, and a Yuan Lin full of countless cracks came out of the timeline, fell into the Holy Land, and then completely lost its energy. At this time, Yuan Lin is almost scrapped. If he wants to recover, it will take a long time, even the lords of the Peak Legend realm feel that it is very long. It came out in only 300 years. Yi Tian said subconsciously. Then, his memory is shared with the replica body, and he knows exactly what happened. It turned out that I didn't go to the future time and space, but to the past time and space to learn about the ancient monument of time and space. This decision is very wise, otherwise, if there is no gain along the way to the future timeline, it will be a big loss. After all, they don't know anything about the timeline, everything is unknown, it is better to choose the past. And this time, the harvest was huge. Yuan Lin's return naturally attracted the attention of many legendary lords of Boundless Sea. They also naturally saw how Yuan Lin was almost scrapped, and immediately lost interest. For such a Yuan Lin, there is almost no need to offend the Holy Land, and Yuan Lin is almost unable to travel the timeline. I go first. The Glacier Lord dropped these words and left across the space. And one after another legendary realm lords in the true No Holy Land have announced that they are going to retreat and do penance. They need to digest their insights. If they are lucky, maybe in the near future, there will be a peak legendary realm lord born in the true No Holy Land. This time I have gained a lot. Although I didn't completely control the space, I did control more than 90%. As long as I control some other Taos, maybe I can break the shackles and completely control the space in one fell swoop. Yi Tian muttered. Moreover, he felt that there should be hope for the birth of a pinnacle legend realm lord, such as the Lord of Mingyan. The Lord of Mingyan himself is at the pinnacle of the common legendary lord, and he is only one step away from breaking through to the peak legendary lord. Now, Lord Mingyan has been comprehending for so long with the help of the ancient desolate monument of time and space. If Lord Mingyan made a breakthrough, Junwu Holy Land would be able to rank among the top forces in the Void region, 890 would not be afraid of other top forces, and Lord Wuong would not even think about suppressing Junwu Holy Land. In the blink of an eye, 6 eternal era years passed. This day, some legendary lords such as Yi Tian, True Spirit Lord, Longu Lord and others held a meeting. At the meeting, Lord Longu said, "In recent years, many industries in the Holy Land have been attacked. Some legendary lords were killed when they entered some treasured and forbidden places, and the losses were not small. According to the investigation, there should be some legendary lords. Shadow, but we can't find it, but there are some things that don't need to be checked, and this matter is likely to be instructed by the Lord of the Peak Legend." 1. Lord Wuong, the True Spirit Lord said. "It should be him." Lord Longu nodded. Lord Wuong has a small mind and it is normal to attack us, but he should not know that Lord Mingyan has made a breakthrough. Lord Mingyan, how long will it take to break through? Yi Tian asked. The Lord of True Spirit said. I chatted with Lord Mingyan, she is now charging with all her strength, and it will take about an eternal era to completely break through. 1. I propose to keep a low profile during this time, bear with me, wait until Lord Mingyan breaks through to the peak legendary realm lord, and then counterattack. Yi Tian suggested. Agree. 1. Agree. 1. The legendary lords nodded.